Preseason, they didn't have as much of the ball, but they got it done. Today, I think you're going to want to see a little bit more connection, a little bit more cohesiveness, but also, if you got to get gritty and find a way to win, that's what Gonzalo Pineda wants his team to do today.
Well, let's tell our listeners what they can expect to hear this afternoon. Last Saturday in Birmingham, 3 different groups of 11 played 30 minutes each. Today, it will be 2 different groups of 11 playing 45 minutes each. Think of this as a step ladder where Atlanta United is trying to get its group 90 minutes match fit by the time they play in Columbus 3 weeks from today to open the Major League Soccer season. Today is another step towards that.
Yeah, honestly, you want to get 90 minutes fit before the last preseason game behind closed doors against Kansas City. That's the dress rehearsal. You want to be ready to go for that. So 30 last week, 45 here. Next week in Florida, you're going to have 2 games. You're going to have a Wednesday and a Saturday. You want to increase the workload for guys in those games. You want to be 60 minutes on Wednesday and hopefully 75 against the Tampa Bay Rowdies next Saturday, with the idea of being 90 minutes ready to roll on the 17th, a week before the opener. So if anybody needs a little more time, and Steven Gregerson, for example, not in the groups today because he's coming off of a season in Europe. Bartosz Slisz in the group today. Maybe he doesn't play in the Wednesday game as you're starting to integrate him, but you also have half of the season already under his belt. And we saw this with Yorgos Giacomakis last year. He joined a little bit later, but coming off of playing half of a season, coming straight into another season, that's a lot of toll on your body. That's 18 months pretty continuously of playing. Gonzalo Pineda wants to use preseason here for those guys coming in off of seasons in Europe and manage the workload a little bit. So everybody might not be at the same step on that ladder, but they're all trying to get to the top of it by the 17th of February.
Should also be noted, just as was the case last week in Birmingham, do not make assumptions based on who is in the first group and second group today and try to translate that into what the opening day starting lineup would be in Columbus. The goal for Gonzalo Pineda and his technical staff right now is to try to maximize the amount of work that every player can get, and that's why maybe some first-choice players will play in the second group today, maybe some second-choice players will play in the first group. All that being said, you mentioned Bartosz Slisz making his Atlanta United debut today. We did not get to see him in Birmingham, but his visa issues have been finalized, and now he's able to train with the first team and play with them. What do you expect to see from him today playing in a center-back pairing with Noah Cobb in the first group?
Well, I think with Slisz, he'll be with Muyumba in the midfield. You want to see him combine with Muyumba, and they've got to develop a chemistry, and they're going to have issues today with communication. At times, you're going to see a wayward pass. You're going to see them not on the same page, but they've got to play minutes together to build that. Slisz is the kind of profile of a midfielder that you dream of in this kind of system with Atlanta United, because he's good on the ball. He can progress the ball with his passing, great range of passing, but he can also carry the ball forward on the dribble. That's something when teams want to step up and press, a lot of times the dribble can be the way that breaks them down. Slisz is capable of that. But then in a number 6 role, you've got to be able to defend. You've got to be physical. You've got to be able to get stuck into a tackle. He can do those things as well. He's a complete central midfielder who will probably play as an 8, can even slot in as a 10 when you need him to do that, because you want the interchange in that midfield where it suits them, where the game suits it. But today, you want to see him build some chemistry with Tristan Muyumba in that central midfield.
Let's talk a little bit about Memphis 901. Stephen Glass, former Atlanta United assistant and interim head coach, leads Memphis 901 into this friendly today. As I said, they beat Atlanta United 2-1 in extra time in the U.S. Open Cup last April the 26th at Kennesaw. Some of those faces that beat Atlanta United that night are back. Knights of Pickering, who had the game-winning goal, will be in the starting group for Memphis today. But there are some other familiar faces, too. And last year in the Open Cup, we saw some players who used to feature for Atlanta United. Philip Goodrum scored the game-tying goal against Atlanta United. Well, Luis Fernando is back with Memphis 901 today. And Emerson Hyndman, a familiar face, will start in their midfield today.
Yeah, I had a chance to catch up with Stephen Glass this week, and he said that Emerson was really looking forward to being back close to Atlanta today in Athens. I really enjoyed his time with the club. Injuries were always the concern when it came to Emerson Hyndman during his time here. 2019 to 22, played 67 games. Was very good when he was on the field, but health was the concern. Last year with Memphis, came in a little bit later in the year, 3 goals in 15 games. He's feeling good at this stage of preseason to be able to jump in. Luis Fernando's another one. Had 1 game with the first team in CONCACAF Champions League, but Luis Fernando, 33 games with Atlanta United too. A very good winger at the USL Championship level. You mentioned some other new faces. Knights of Pickering, one that I like a lot. We're going to see one new face not be with Memphis today, Nico Brett, one of the top scorers in USL Championship history. But look out for Zach Duncan. He was a very promising Australian youth national team product. Didn't really break through during his time with Aarhus in Denmark. A lot of hopes for him to kind of, still at 23 years old, find that stable club and that stable footing for him in his development. Duncan could be a great addition to the midfield for Memphis.
Yeah, this is a Memphis team that has players with MLS experience. Abdoulaye Sissoko, for example, someone who played against Atlanta United with Seattle Sounders a couple of years ago. He's likely going to play in the second group with Memphis 901 today. Plenty more to come. It is an absolutely beautiful afternoon here in Athens, Georgia, with match time temperatures in the 60s and a very, very pleasant sky condition. The stadium, with seats about 1,700, is completely sold out for this friendly this afternoon between Atlanta United and Memphis 901. We'll have more of the Five Stripes Countdown coming up in a moment on Sports Radio 92.9 The Game. Can you move your microphone a little closer to your mouth?
Yeah.
Okay. And then do you want to check with them to see if they're getting us okay? I don't know if they're...
That's the referees if you don't have them.
Yeah, I have them.
Okay.
Thank you.
You can go up a little bit.
You need more from us?
Yeah, it says mic placement. I think I fixed that, but am I okay?
Yeah, there's a little bit of static from the line, but I think that's
Okay.
just...
I can give you a higher level if you want in general. Do you want me to crank it up a little? Or?
Yeah, go a little bit.
All right.
I can modify my side to come down.
Okay. I gave you a little bit more level, so that should be good. That's good. So I forgot. We have this segment and then tools to mash.
Piedmont believes in the people powering Georgia. It's why we're leading real change in healthcare, to give you a better, seamless, more unified experience, so you can simply access and manage your care all in one place, with tools that make it easy to find and book a doctor from almost anywhere, anytime, and even check in before you walk in. Let's keep powering Georgia's growth. Piedmont. Real change lives here. Piedmont believes in the people powering Georgia. It's why we're leading real change in healthcare. To give you a better, seamless, more unified experience. So you can simply access and manage your care all in one place. With tools that make it easy to find and book a doctor from almost anywhere, anytime. And even check in before you walk in. Let's keep powering Georgia's growth. Piedmont. Real change lives here.
There was a late conversation about Fiorentina in Serie A. I don't think they had the kind of money that Atlanta United would be asking for Thiago Almada. The other element that made it tricky that I think got lost in the shuffle a little bit is Thiago Almada's not here. He's with the Argentine U23 national team, which is trying to qualify for the Olympics. He's wearing the captain's armband. He's wearing the number 10 shirt. Not a lot of people have had that honor of wearing the number 10 shirt for Argentina at any youth national team level, at any national team level, in any competition. It means a lot. So he's not able to go have these conversations with clubs. He's busy right now. He's in a good spot. I think Atlanta United's in a good spot. And if they qualify for the Olympics and then he goes into the Olympics and does well, the summer window is what always seemed to make the most sense.
That's a great point. Now, elsewhere around the league, we've seen a lot of players outgoing. MLS is a selling league, and this isn't necessarily a surprise, but we saw Duncan McGuire loaned off of Orlando City. Charlotte with Swiderski and Joswiak both going over to Europe. So if you look at the Eastern Conference right now, I know there's business elements in play, and Thiago Almada eventually is going to end up in Europe. But it does almost feel like Atlanta United won the transfer window in a way because they retained their best player, while some other Eastern Conference players had to sell or loan out players.
They won the transfer window also because they got their business done early. And that was such an important thing. We talked to Garth Lagerwey about that last week. You have Steven Gregerson with a game under his belt in preseason. You're getting Bartosz Slisz with a game under his belt today. If you add one more player, it is a depth piece, either at fullback or forward. That's what you're looking at right now. Your group is complete. You have competition in preseason. I think Columbus and Atlanta are the two most complete groups in the Eastern Conference. After that, you have questions. Cincinnati has lost Brandon Vasquez. You mentioned Orlando, Duncan McGuire. That was a crazy saga, by the way. He's on the plane to England, and Blackburn had pulled out initially of bringing him in while he's en route to England. Just chaos. I think you have a lot of questions. Miami, you have questions about what's going on with them defensively. Don't get hung up on the results with Miami in preseason, but they're leaking goals, and defense was always going to be a concern. They've got to fix that. They will. Tata Martino's a good manager. They're going to fix that to a degree, but how much? I don't know. I feel like the East is Columbus and Atlanta's got to prove they can beat Columbus on the road as well. Beyond that, I don't know how it's going to shake out just yet.
There's one more I got to ask you about before we go to tools of the match, which is coming up. You see this report about Almiron wanting to come back to Atlanta?
It was from a not on the tier list journalist who mentioned it. It was a very interesting story when it popped up. Miguel Almiron was linked with a move to Saudi Arabia from Newcastle. Newcastle's got to sell some players because of financial fair play. Almiron is one who maybe goes at some point from Newcastle. He didn't in this window. Would it shock me if it was true that Miguel Almiron wanted to come back to Atlanta? No. I think he really enjoyed his time here. And if he's going to get, I think the report was if he's going to get loaned, he'd rather just go on a permanent to Atlanta. I don't know how you fit that in. I mean, it's a fascinating story. It would be an amazing homecoming of sorts for Miguel Almiron. And, you know, if Thiago Almada goes and that number 10 spot is open, well, we've seen a certain Miguel Almiron in that spot before in the past. So maybe dreams do come true.
Maybe. But I would also say I feel very, very good about the group that Atlanta United has right now coming into this season. Just knock on wood that they get through the final 3 weeks of this preseason healthy and they can be as close to full strength as possible. 3 weeks from this afternoon in Columbus, we'll have it for you on Sports Radio 92.9, the game Atlanta United's MLS season opener against the defending MLS Cup champions. We'll take another break. We'll have the tools to today's match. It's a preseason friendly Atlanta United and Memphis 901 coming up next on Sports Radio 92.9, the game.
Piedmont believes in the people powering Georgia. It's why we're leading real change in healthcare. To give you a better, seamless, more unified experience. So you can simply access and manage your care all in one place. With tools that make it easy to find and book a doctor from almost anywhere, anytime. And even check in before you walk in. Let's keep powering Georgia's growth. Piedmont. Real change lives here.
Probably better than Chicken Head by Project Pat.
I just wonder if you'd go with the UGA themed or Athens themed, like B-52s.
Could have. Could have went anything REM.
Yeah.
Nah, we'll go Memphis. How long we got here?
Piedmont believes in the people powering Georgia. It's why we're leading real change in healthcare. To give you a better, seamless, more unified experience. So you can simply access and manage your care all in one place. With tools that make it easy to find and book a doctor from almost anywhere, anytime. And even check in before you walk in. Let's keep powering Georgia's growth. Piedmont. Real change lives here.
The defender, number 11, Brooks Lennon. The forward, number 16, Jande Silva. The defender, number 24, Noah Cobb. And the midfielder, number 30, Nick Firmino.
Its second preseason friendly of 2024, coming off a 2-1 win at Birmingham last Saturday. Their opponent today, Memphis 901, playing their first preseason friendly. And again, this is the same Memphis 901 side that eliminated Atlanta United from the U.S. Open Cup last year. And Gonzalo Pineda told Jason and I yesterday when we had an opportunity to speak with him, he hasn't forgotten that. He values these preseason friendlies as he wants to try to instill a winning mentality in this team. It'll be two different groups playing 45 minutes each today. For Atlanta United, Jason, Gonzalo will set them up in a 4-3-3 again.
Josh Cohen in goal, backline left to right, Ronald Hernandez, Luis Abram, Noah Cobb, and Brooks Lennon. Midfield duo, Bartosz Slish and Tristan Muyumba behind Nick Firmino. Wingers, Shande Silva and Saba Lobjanica, and up front, Yorgos Yakimakis.
Meanwhile, Memphis 901 in USL Championship last year went 14-10-10, had an unfortunate early exit from the USL Championship playoffs, but they finished fourth in the Eastern Conference. Stephen Glass will set his team up in a 4-3-3 as well.
Tyler Derrick in goal, fullbacks Akeem Ward and Oscar Jimenez, center backs Carson Vom Stieg and Lucas Turchi. Three-man midfield, Emerson Hindman, Zach Duncan, and Bruno Lapa. Up front, Luis Fernando, Noe Meza, and Naite Pickering.
When we come back, we'll have the opening kickoff, Atlanta United and Memphis 901, as Atlanta United's preseason continues.
Piedmont believes in the people powering Georgia. It's why we're leading real change in healthcare. To give you a better, seamless, more unified experience. So you can simply access and manage your care all in one place. With tools that make it easy to find and book a doctor from almost anywhere, anytime. And even check in before you walk in. Let's keep powering Georgia's growth. Piedmont. Real change lives here.
I like their kits. They look good.
Yeah, sharp, very sharp.
Really good supplier. They're
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Talking about going to Little Italy later.
Oh,
as well.
that's a
Meatball
good
subs.
time.
So toppings are very much on my mind. And again, if you're watching on Atlanta United's video stream, you're going to get a radio description from Jason and I because this match is being broadcast on the radio in Atlanta.
Yeah, you guys are used to that if you catch us up on the MLS Season Pass on Apple TV.
Referee today, Mohammed Hassan. No VAR.
Thought it was us again.
Well, we'll do our best to give you as unbiased an opinion on close calls as possible today. I think we did a pretty good job. Actually, the ref in Birmingham last week was fantastic. Let everyone play. Memphis is going to kick off and attack the goal to our left, and Emerson Hindman, the former Atlanta United midfielder, who made 31 appearances all time for Atlanta United, standing over the ball at center spot with hands on hips. A beautiful afternoon, sunny with temperatures in the low 60s and a capacity crowd here at the Turner Soccer Complex. Hindman looking at the referee looking at Hindman. Now the referee checking his watch. We are set to go here for this preseason friendly. The first for Memphis, the second for Atlanta United. Referee steps away from the halfway line, blows the whistle. We're underway with Hindman sending it back to Lucas Turchi, who will play direct, long, and over the top down the right wing, where it's knocked down by Brooks Lennon, and then a foul is drawn over on the far touchline by Ronald Hernandez for Atlanta United.
Good work from Ronald Hernandez to go up for that aerial duel, win it, draw the foul. Atlanta has the free kick to restart.
So the first foul of the match coming 10 seconds into the match with the free kick on the edge of the left defensive third for Atlanta United. Playing at a 4-3-3 as usual this afternoon. Hernandez will knock the ball backwards to Luis Abram, who will back pass to Josh Cohen, making his appearance with the first group today. Cohen back to Abram at the left side of the 18, flick to Mayumba at the penalty spot. Sends it out into the near corner to Noah Cobb, who will pitch clear to Yakimakis, who tried to chest that down to Saba, but it bounced off of him to Noah Meza instead. Now behind center circle, Carson Von Steeg for Memphis, playing down the right wing, and then it is passed back to Von Steeg at the edge of Memphis's defensive third. They'll try to play up to Oscar Jimenez now. The ball pinballs over the far touchline, out for an Atlanta United throw. As we're 1 minute into a scoreless match.
Jimenez is a great signing for Memphis 901. Very good on the ball. Won a couple of titles with Louisville and gets involved in the attacking sequences as well.
The throw went into Mayumba, but it was tackled away from him down the far touchline and out near the corner flag. So a deep defensive third throw now for Atlanta United. Moving from left to right here in the first half. This is launched down the far touchline towards Yakimakis, but headed away into the midfield, trying to run it down now. Akeem O'Connell-Ward, and he steps over the ball. Saba may have had a role in that. It's rescued in front of the halfway line, though, by Bruno Lapa. And Memphis now will attack with Lucas Turchi, making a slaloming run into the left attacking third. Turchi swings it to the edge of the 18, knocked down by Hernandez. Second ball goes to Pickering. He dribbles and shoots. Score! Nita Pickering has done it again against Atlanta United. He had the game-winning goal in U.S. Open Cup on April 26th of last year, and there was no way Cohen was going to be able to save that, and Memphis has the early lead.
Turchi, the center back, carried it forward, rode through a challenge of Slish. The ball fell to Pickering from a challenge of Luis Fernando, and Nita Pickering loves playing against Atlanta United. The 19-year-old from Birmingham scored 5 goals in all competitions last year, one of those against Atlanta. He starts his preseason with a goal here.
Comes on the first shot of the match. Atlanta United kicking off and moving from left to right, trailing for the first time in this preseason. Noah Cobb sending it to the left side of the Atlanta 18 now for Abram, who will flick it up ahead, and then it's back pass to Cohen again now, who will pitch clear down the middle, and that is intercepted by Carson Von Steeg, who turns it over to Jimenez along the far touchline. He'll pitch ahead to Pickering now, and that ball will curl out near the far corner flag. Atlanta throw, but Memphis causing them problems here in the 4th minute.
Good high pressure from Memphis. Atlanta struggling to build out of the back, building those connections.
And that one has to be saved by Ronald Hernandez in the far corner just to drive it up to the halfway line. Now popped up in the air by Silva. Yakimakis playing it back into the run of Silva, coming down the center of the park, but Jimenez will get there. He'll back pass to Tyler Garrick, who has no choice but to clear it onto the hillside, and now for an Atlanta throw.
That's not the ball that Derek wants, with a little too much heat on it. He did all that he could, puts it out for the Atlanta throw.
Up the throw, Mayumba, about 40 yards from goal on the far touchline. Bumped by Pickering, stays on the ball, and dribbles centrally now, where he'll pass into center circle to Lennon. Look back to Cobb behind center spot. Squares it off to the left now to Abram. 1-0 Memphis in the 5th minute. This portion of the match brought to you by AT&T, official wireless partner of Atlanta United. Here now is Abram behind the left halfway line. Squaring to the right to Cobb below center circle. Cobb up ahead to Lennon now in the Memphis half. Lennon dropping it back to Cobb again behind the halfway line. Cobb will stop as he's looked at by Bruno Lapa and flick it over to Sleece now, who comes up to the right halfway line, continues, and then tries to knock it forward. It bounces off of Hindman to O'Connell Ward. Second ball is dug at by Sleece, but won away by Noah Meza, who drops it back now to Lucas Turchi, and Turchi will square it beyond the reach of Derek, but Derek will run it down near his far post and clear it. Memphis now countering from right to left with the 1-0 lead. Oscar Jimenez pulls the ball back at the edge of the defensive third. Sweeps it backwards now to Lapa, and now here's O'Connell Ward coming up to the left halfway line for Memphis. They'll stop and flick it back to Hindman. Hindman back further now to Turchi. Turchi will play a long one over the top. Here's a long run for Noah Meza, and Noah Cobb will win that race and settle it in front of the right-end line.
Noah Meza does not want to get into a foot race with Noah Cobb. Cobb may be one of the fastest players in the team.
Good ball, Sleece going over the top now to Saba. Saba runs it down to the near corner. Dribble, dribble, dribble to the edge of the 18. Saba needs it to the edge of the 6. Now to the top of the 18. A shot is blocked by O'Connell Ward. Out into the midfield where it's cleared by Memphis.
Noah Meza down behind the play after that long run with Noah Cobb. He pulled up.
And they stopped play for that. Well, that was a very promising ball, though, by Sleece up to Saba, and by far Atlanta United's most promising attack of the first couple minutes as Dylan Borzak, the 22-year-old from Detroit, Michigan, starts loosening up on the far touchline for Memphis. Now, play was stopped, but the trainers did not come on to look at the, well, now a trainer comes on, Noah Meza. So if they are applying the new rule here, Meza would have to sit out for 3 minutes, I believe.
If we're playing under MLS rules.
Which I assume we are, but
we did last week.
That is probably something I should have checked before we went on the air today. It is going to be a drop ball to Brooks Lennon in front of the right halfway line for Atlanta United.
I don't think Noah Meza is going to be able to continue. I think this early it looked like a hamstring. He was able to walk off under his own power, but you don't want to risk anything at all.
No, like I said, they immediately got Borzak up to warm up.
Yeah.
So it's 11-10 for Atlanta United here for the moment in the 7th minute. They trailed, though, 1-0 on a 3rd-minute bomb by Nita Pickering. In fact, they're going to allow Memphis to make the sub here as they give the drop ball to Brooks Lennon. So Borzak, the 22-year-old who played for Rio Grande Valley up till 2022, is on for Memphis. Unlimited subs for both teams today. Atlanta playing back to their own end with Cobb, sliding it down the right wing, turning on it now Nick Firmino, and he is tackled off the ball. Good play by Duncan. Second ball won away, though, by Firmino. Now trying to dig it forward to Saba. He does up to Yakimakis, but he bounces it off of O'Connor Ward, and Memphis in possession now with Duncan. Dropping it back to Bob Stieg, who will fire it down the right wing. And Memphis again now with Jimenez, giving it away to Abram in the midfield. Flicks it up to the halfway line, Mayumba. Back to Abram, back further to Cobb behind center circle. Will start it down the right wing to Lennon. Lennon dribbling down the near touchline, stopping 40 yards from goal. Sending it back down into the Atlanta end to Cobb again. Cobb squaring it to the left to Abram. Abram and Cobb, the center back pairing here with the first group today. It is a day off for Gregerson, who might play Wednesday against Montreal, we are told. Cobb now sending it behind center circle to Abram again. Atlanta moving from left to right here as it's flicked over to Hernandez. Hernandez drawing pressure from Turchi. He has to send it back to Cohen, the goalkeeper. Cohen now at the edge of his own 18. Gives it to Abram, standing outside the left corner of the Atlanta 18. Finds Sleece in the middle. We'll move this up to Lennon now outside the right defensive third. Lennon flicking ahead to Saba now, right at the halfway line. Saba dropping it back to Cobb. Cobb over to Abram again. So Atlanta at least sustaining possession here in the 9th minute. As Abram hands it back off to Cobb. Looked ahead, Sleece at the right halfway line. Another ball sent forward towards Lennon, but intercepted by O'Connor Ward, and then a good play on the near touchline by Sleece, forcing Borzak to dribble it out for an Atlanta throw.
I think seeing Slish make his debut with Atlanta United, you want to get him on the ball as much as possible. He's on it again, but you also have to let him build those connections. He doesn't know the runs that his teammates want. They don't know the kind of ball that he wants to serve. It's just a little bit of a get-to-know-you session today with him.
Here's It's Noah Cobb playing a long diagonal looking for Shandy Silva. That, though, does not connect. It's headed away by Vom Steeg, and now Memphis countering down the far touchline. This is a slaloming run by Luis Fernando trying to pitch it into the middle. It's knocked away, though, by Cobb. It'll bounce towards Saba, but it's sent away from him by Luis Fernando again. A good play.
Heavy touch from Saba as he found that one but couldn't control it.
Emerson Hindman now, 40 yards from goal, pitching down the middle, right to the head of Noah Cobb, who flicks it ahead to Firmino. And then a nasty tackle by Zachary Duncan going in on Shandy Silva and drawing a foul, and brandishing a yellow card here is Mohamed Hassan, as both teams come together on the edge of center circle. And Hassan is going to, I believe, show a yellow to Duncan, and he does.
Game's got a little bit of an edge to it. I like it.
This is all very useful to have this type of experience, really, for both teams.
Yes.
We mentioned for Atlanta United, very, very important, but for Memphis as well, their first preseason friendly. And the visitors playing with the lead here in the 11th minute. Off the free kick, here is Abram behind center circle, flicking to the left to Hernandez. Hernandez playing it over the top for Yorgos Yakimakis. And that'll bounce to the far corner flag, and Yorgos is on it. Dribbling on Von Steeg, around Von Steeg, and sends it across. That's headed away at the near post by Turchi, out for a corner.
Corner kick, Atlanta United.
Nice work by Yakimakis in the corner to make something of that. You don't often see Yorgos putting in crosses, but he earns a set piece here for Atlanta United. Yakimakis 1v1 with Vom Steeg. Nice work.
First corner of the match for either side here in the 12th minute. 1-0, Atlanta United trailing Memphis. Sent out of the far corner goal to our right. In-swinger to the near post, headed across the face of goal, and then volleyed out of danger by Duncan. Back into the midfield where Hernandez sent it back down the left wing. Saba now. Dropping it back to Hernandez along the far touchline. Will go all the way back to Cohen, who's 30 yards off his line.
Now you can reset.
Atlanta United does that with Mayumba. Looking off to the right now to Noah Cobb behind the right halfway line. Cobb will play it over the top for Lennon. Lennon is in behind Duncan and controls at the near corner flag, and then Duncan stuffs him. The ball stops right along the touchline, and Duncan takes it away from Lennon. Passing to Ward, who knocks it off Lennon for goal kick.
The movement in that sequence was good. Again, it's preseason. The sharpness isn't there, but the movement where you had Nick Firmino checking back, that created the space for Brooks Lennon to go over the top. Good ball to him. Wasn't able to get that turnover at the end. The movement good, sharpness not so much yet.
Portion of the match brought to you by Piedmont, official healthcare partner of Atlanta United. Memphis playing long over the top for Luis Fernando. It'll be cut off by Ronald Hernandez, who flicks back to Cohen, and Cohen will start it down the right side now to Noah Cobb. Cobb stops and flicks it into the middle to Sleeves. Back now to Cohen, standing near his own penalty spot.
One thing about Slish immediately is he likes to play fast. He likes to play quick. One touch where he can.
Noah Cobb giving it out to Lennon now on the near touchline. Back to Cobb. Memphis stepping up to press. Cobb will pass around Pickering to Cohen. Cohen will throw it out into the far corner now. Here is Abram passing beyond Firmino. The ball will roll up to Yakimakis, who gets into a heavy collision and fouls a Memphis player in front of the right halfway line. Heavy collision, but I don't think card coming out here because it was not intentional play by Yorgos. Memphis will get a free kick. Now 45 yards from goal.
Yeah, Memphis not going to be happy with the lack of a card there. You
well,
could
no,
have.
They did give him.
Okay,
They
yeah.
did give him.
Yeah, he's late. It should be a card. It's not malicious, but it's late, and there was a lot of contact.
So it'll be a free kick now for Memphis. In front of the right halfway line, and they'll play back to the halfway line. And back further now to Turchi below center circle. They'll play long over the top and overhits that one for Borzak, and it's caught near the penalty spot by Cohen. Cohen puts it down on the ground for Cobb. Atlanta from left to right here as Cobb squares it to the left to Abram. Out of the defensive third, Luis Abram looking to Hernandez along the far touchline. Hernandez kind of tinks it into the shadows and now rolls it backwards to a wide open Noah Cobb, who can start forward coming down the central channel. Cobb ahead to Shandy Silva, who's inverted now on the right side. Silva dribbling on Borzak to the edge of the attacking third. Now continuing by passing to Mayumba. Mayumba off to Hernandez. 40 yards from goal on the left wing, up ahead to Saba. Saba into the attacking third for Silva, out to the far touchline. Here's Mayumba. Dribble to the edge of the 18. Tristan Mayumba stuffed at the edge of the 18, trying to get around Oscar Jimenez. Ball is loose inside the box. Pinballs off Heinman, cleared by Memphis. A good play. Out to Noah Cobb at the halfway line. Atlanta trying again here in the 15th minute. This is driven up to Brooks Lennon by Sleece. Lennon now in the near corner, fakes the cross, got Borzak to John. Lennon again to the end line, pops it to the back post, header over the head of Giacomakis. Trapped by Silva, sends it back in and hits it over the crossbar. Out for goal kick.
Pretty similar to what we saw in Birmingham last week, where it took the first group about 15 minutes or so to find their footing, get some shape, but also start to get that movement off the ball. Feels like it's building now for Atlanta United. The ball from Lennon was a pretty good one. It fell to Silva behind the intended target, and he wasn't able to put it on frame.
Memphis pitching clear down the left wing where Noah Cobb will run that down in front of Bruno Lapa. Passing to Cohen, who will clear down the middle to Emerson Heinman, who volleys it back towards goal. Cohen, 17 yards off his line, will trap that.
Pickering was offside, so he couldn't make the play on that.
And now Luis Abram starting forward down the left side for Atlanta United. Playing it ahead to Firmino, who flicks to Hernandez along the far touchline. Hernandez now bouncing it down the left wing for Tristan Mayumba. Mayumba at the edge of the 18. Dribbles into the box and then plays it off of Duncan. The ball rolls back now to Shani Silva at the top of the 18. Flick there to Hernandez. Dribbles and then loses it into the boots of Duncan. Second ball is cleared by Memphis. Out into the midfield where Noah Cobb steps up and sends it ahead now to Lennon. Dropped off to Sliss. Back down to Lennon. Return to Sliss, who will pivot and dribble back into the midfield and square it in front of center circle to Hernandez. Pitch down the middle, headed forward by Saba, and then knocked away by Vom Steeg. It did not connect. Back the other way now, Memphis. Shande Silva trying to dig the ball away and successfully does against Luis Fernando.
Good work by Shande Silva to track back and reclaim possession.
1-0 Memphis in the 17th minute. This portion of the match brought to you by Equifax, proud partner of your Atlanta United. Slish trying to dribble past Borzak. Borzak takes it away, but it pinballs off of him to Saba, who returns it now to Slish at the edge of the right attacking third. Marked by Heinman. Slish will drop it back in front of the right halfway line to Lennon. He'll drop it back into the Atlanta end to Cobb, who will square it to the edge of center circle to Abram. Abram now flicking to Hernandez behind the left halfway line. Hernandez will play it to center spot. It bounces off of Slish. Second ball, though, run down by Lennon. Took it away from Borzak. Noah Cobb now sending it to the near touchline, Saba. Saba dribbling parallel to the halfway line and flicking to Slish. Slish now playing a long diagonal looking for Silva. Under hit. Cleared by Jimenez down the far touchline, and Hernandez gets tangled up with his man. And the whistle blows. Will be a foul against Hernandez.
Smart foul by Hernandez. Not going to let Luis Fernando turn there. Slish, they're trying to get him going. They're trying to feed him. They're trying to give him opportunities on the ball as much as possible. You're just trying to build sharpness right now if you're Bartosz Slish, who has not trained with this group very much.
Off the free kick, Atlanta in possession as Firmino squares to the far touchline. This is Mayumba, 10 yards behind the halfway line. Turning as he's watched by Luis Fernando and flicking to Slish. Now we have another whistle as the referee walks up to Ronald Hernandez.
Hernandez and Luis Fernando have had some conversations as the whole match has gone on. Not sure if this is related to that or not.
It'd be an unusual time to stop play to deal with that, wouldn't it?
Don't know what was heard. The fourth official would have been really close to that, but I think it's a different issue.
I think Hernandez is going over to the near touchline and getting some medical attention. I wonder if maybe he's bleeding.
Yeah, I think it's something related to that. Can't quite tell.
This is on the side of the park, obviously furthest from us. On the UGA campus, so as Larry Munson would say, I'll try to put some glasses on it here. It looks like Ronald is being looked upon by two physio staffers. One has a bottle of water, and they are doing a little bit of work to, looks like Ronald's nose, maybe the bridge of the nose.
Yeah.
Which would possibly confirmed that he was bleeding.
I think the question that Gonzalo Pineda was asking our referee, Mohamed Hassan, was that didn't happen by accident.
It generally does not. Usually something causes that.
Usually, yes.
Well, I think we're going to have an uncontested drop ball here to Atlanta. They were in possession at the time of the whistle. And Mohamed Hassan will put the ball down at the edge of Atlanta's left defensive third. It's 1-0 Memphis. We're in the 20th minute. A third-minute goal by Nita Pickering. Memphis really dominated the first 5 minutes of the match, but Atlanta United's first group has been settling in since. Back to play. Atlanta playing 10v11 at the moment here as Schlisch will pass back to Cohen, who will flick it ahead now to Abram outside the Atlanta 18. We'll bounce it off to the right to Cobb. Hernandez is back on. We're 11 aside as Cobb plays over the top for Firmino. That did connect, and it's knocked off him by Lucas Turchi, out for a throw in the near touchline to Atlanta United. Be thrown in out 30 yards from goal by Brooks Lennon. On the near touchline, Brooks Lennon for a teammate to flash open here. He'll go down the touchline to Saba, and he's dispossessed by Borzak. Cleared by O'Connell Ward. Duncan fell down, but it's rescued by Lapa, who flicks to Borzak, and he turns it over. Sent by Firmino to Saba. Saba loops it to the penalty spot where it's headed away by Von Steen. Out in the midfield to Hernandez, who flicks to Shande Silva. Over to Mayumba now on the right side. Down the right wing, here's Lennon. Trapping in the near corner. Lennon's cross is stuffed by O'Connell Ward, but it's out for a corner over the right end line.
Akeem O'Connor Ward, 28 years old from Virginia, played 38 games in all competitions for Memphis last year. Has a game under his belt with DC United earlier in his career, showing that he can compete here with Brooks Lennon. He prevents the cross from getting in.
Lennon to send it out of the near corner. Goal to our right. Outswinger to the penalty spot. Headed clear by Lucas Turchi, who's had a big first half. He assisted on the Pickering goal. Borzak now sending it down the middle to Bruno Lapa. Lapa in a 1v1 now, and Ronald Hernandez gets back to recover and mark him. Good play.
Smart defending from Hernandez. Didn't dive in, just shielded things to allow his team to retreat.
Now Bruno Lapa dropping it back into the Memphis end where Turchi will start it forward to Ward. Back to Turchi on the edge of Memphis's defensive third. He'll square it to Von Steeg on the right side, and he'll turn and back pass to Tyler Derrick. 35-year-old from Spring, Texas. Fun fact about Derrick, he was the first ever homegrown player for Houston Dynamo. Here is Turchi pitching clear down the middle. Noah Cobb heads that away from Borzak to Lennon. Good play by Noah Cobb. Lennon returns it now to Cobb at the edge of the Atlanta 18. He'll square it off to the left to Luis Abram. 23rd minute, 1-0 Memphis. Atlanta United out shooting Memphis 2-1. The only shot on target was the Memphis goal. Shande Silva now behind the halfway line, dribbling up the far touchline, passing ahead to Firmino, gives it right back to Shande Silva. Silva dribbling to the edge of the attacking third, bounces it into the middle to Ward, an underhit pass for Saba. Ward countering now from right to left, stopping behind center circle, now restarting and flicking to Borzak on the left side. Drop back to Hindman, bounces it off to the right now to Von Steen. Von Steen going over the top. This one overhit for Pickering. It's going to bounce along the far touchline. The second ball rolls off of Abram and out for a throw.
Pickering able to get a touch to knock it off of Abram. Great work from Nita Pickering once again.
Bruno Lapa off the throw, dropping it to Duncan. Sends it to the penalty spot to Hindman. Knocked away by Lennon. Ball is loose, though, near the penalty spot. Cobb is able to clear.
Noah Cobb's been excellent once again. Cleans that one up after a good attack from Memphis. Noah Cobb's been immense so far in the early going.
Memphis again, though, with Ward giving it to Hindman, dropping it back to Turchi in the Memphis end. Derrick now 25 yards off his line. Sends it down the middle to Hindman. Drop back into the near corner. Turchi will play it up to Ward. Approached, though, by Lennon as Ward turns now behind center circle and is able to bounce that over to Jimenez on the far side. Jimenez up to the halfway line, where it's given back to him by Luis Fernando. Jimenez then out of a tackle by Firmino, and on the second ball, he's found by Mayumba.
Just a little bit of a clip. I think Firmino caught him, and advantage was played until Mayumba stuffed it.
This portion of the match brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. The all-electric Mercedes-Benz lineup is here. 1-0 Memphis in the 25th minute. Off the free kick, they play backwards to Turchi. Square to the right to Baumsteig. Up to Duncan at the halfway line, who hands it off to Bruno Lapa. Drop back to Baumsteig. Now the ball pinballs over the far touchline and out for a throw off of Schlisch. Be thrown up to Luis Fernando, who is bumped, and Ronald Hernandez actually earns a throw, as that last came off of Luis Fernando.
That's a good body blow there from Ronald Hernandez just to get his body into Luis Fernando, and he couldn't control the ball played up to him.
Here's Lennon attacking down the right wing, threading this through to Saba at the edge of the 18. Good recovery to take it away by Lucas Turchi. Otherwise, Saba could have been in on goal. Turchi then plays it into the middle to Emerson Hyndman. Out to Borzak now in the near touchline. He'll bounce this back to Derek. Memphis, for a team playing in its first friendly this afternoon, has been organized in trying to start counters, as Duncan has it now and is able to maneuver past Moyamba to the far touchline, where he's met by Silva. Rolls it back to Baumsteig again, and we'll go back further to Derek. Derek wide of his far post. Passing across his goal mouth into the near corner to Turchi, but no one for Atlanta United is around him. Rolls it up to Hyndman on the edge of the defensive third. Hyndman met by Giacomakis. Will bounce it off to the right now to Baumsteig. He's approached by Firmino, so we'll square it back to the left now. Turchi again on the edge of Memphis' 18, but no one really around him for Atlanta United as he passes back to Baumsteig on the right side. Now Firmino approaches, so it's a back pass to Derek, who will pitch clear and out into the far technical area, and it'll be an Atlanta United throw.
Atlanta allowing the ball to be played to Derek. Tyler Derek doesn't look as comfortable with the ball at his feet as the center backs, so they're trying to funnel it there. That was good defending from Atlanta in a different way. They like to step up and press and win the ball high where they can, but where they can't, drop off and make it difficult to play through.
Well, off the throw, Xande Silva collided with Jimenez. Jimenez went down and drew a foul. Be a Memphis free kick on the edge of their defensive third.
I think he might be being told about the rules, and we'll see how quickly he pops up.
That's right.
Yep.
Because again, if a trainer does come on, he would have to sit for 3 minutes.
Yep, he was warned. The referee did it the right way, came over and told him, hey, this is what's going on. You're going to need to hop up, or you're going to miss 3 minutes of time.
Free kick by Baumsteig, going long over the top for Borzak. That's off his back and bounces down to Pickering, comes straight down the middle and shoots over the crossbar. Out for goal kick.
That ball falls to Pickering. You know he's going to have a shot somewhere in the attacking half if he gets the opportunity.
Now the referee.
Ball was rolling.
It's making Atlanta United retake the goal kick as a result. Could be perceived as a teeny bit trifling in a preseason friendly, but anyhow, we play on with Abram sending it down the far touchline to Hernandez. Squared to Mayamba, who's immediately met by Bruno Lapa. Mayamba takes it to the far touchline. Now pivots back into the defensive third for Atlanta United. Is chased as he rolls it back to the end line. And now Abram's got to make a play, and he does by clearing, but he underhits a pass for Giacomakis. It is stamped down, though, in the middle by Schlisch, who passes up the right wing now. And here's Brooks Lennon making a run into the Memphis end. Lennon into the attacking third and stopping. Flicking to Saba. Back to Lennon, right side of the 18. His cross to Giacomakis, shot right to Derek, who falls over. Best chance of the match, though, for Atlanta United in the 28th minute.
Good build-up. Really good build-up work from Atlanta United. They get the cross. Lennon's able to pick out Giacomakis. Not a lot of power on it to the comfortable save for Tyler Derek, but nice build-up from Atlanta United.
Memphis from right to left off the pass by Derek. It is Turchi sending it over to Baumsteig. Back to Turchi now at the left corner of the Memphis 18, and he'll send it down the middle and clear into the Atlanta end, where it's trapped by Noah Cobb. Looked ahead to Schlisch. Schlisch playing up to Saba now along the near touchline. Back to Schlisch inside the Atlanta end. He will dribble and now pass behind center circle to Luis Abram. And Abram now met by Pickering. Will flick to Hernandez, and will drop it back to Cohen. Shots are 3-2 Atlanta United. Both teams with one shot on target. Cobb driving it ahead to Saba. Along the near touchline, Saba, though, is offside.
Another good look there from Noah Cobb. Saba has to stay onside there. He's looking across the line. Just a little bit of a step because Cobb played that quickly to him.
Free kick, Memphis. On the edge of their left defensive third. Ward will play it backwards to Turchi. Back pass to Derek near his own penalty spot. Derek again playing long down the far touchline, headed away by Hernandez this time, off Luis Fernando and out for an Atlanta throw. Down 45 yards from goal. Dropped into Moyamba. We're in the 30th minute. It's 1-0 Memphis. Shande Silva trying to slalom out of traffic. Dropping it back to Noah Cobb near center spot. Slides it down the right wing to Lennon. Lennon down the near touchline into the attacking third, dribbling on Borzak. Lennon now with Saba overlapping. Will take it to the edge of the 18 and put a cross into the back post that will be headed out for a corner by Oscar Jimenez.
Another great ball by Noah Cobb, perfectly weighted and played into the right space for Brooks Lennon to get forward. Lennon and Saba tried to find a combination there to break through. Lennon was able to find the cross and make it dangerous. Atlanta feels like they're building.
Saba to send us out of the far corner, goal to our right. And he'll play an in-swinger to the near post. That's over the head of Yakimakis and headed clear by Pickering. Out to Luis Fernando, who flicks it ahead to Borzak. And here's a promising counter developing now for Memphis as Borzak is stood up by Lennon along the near touchline and stripped. Good play by Brooks Lennon.
Yeah, I don't want to hear anybody else talk about Brooks Lennon and a lack of defending. That was great work.
Near steal by Pickering, but it harmlessly rolls to Abram, and Atlanta United will try again now with Mayamba playing up to Shande Silva, who again is inverted on the right side. A little bit of a heavy touch, play that into Akana Ward, and tackles and out for a throw. Off the near touchline, Mayamba dropping it back to the right halfway line to Brooks Lennon. 1-0 Memphis in the 31st minute as Cobb squares it behind center circle to the left to Luis Abram. Flicked over to the far touchline to Hernandez, who plays it up the touchline to Saba, and he is dispossessed. Ball rolls to Luis Fernando, who drops it back now to Duncan. Duncan slaloms down the middle. It's returned to him by Luis Fernando and now punched into the box where Cohen comes off his line to claim it before Pickering can get there at the edge of the 6. Now he'll put it on the ground as Cohen, as Borzak will sit down. Brooks Lennon is frustrated at that, gesturing at the referee. The physios are being ordered on, and this will be a 3-minute penalty on Dylan Borzak here if, again, we're playing under the new MLS rules.
Or he'll be substituted. I mean, and he's the substitute. So that's where you're at right now. This game's being played with a good bit of intensity. And if you're Memphis, this is your first match. They haven't had a whole lot of time training. They're trying to match the intensity, and it's difficult, and you're seeing guys suffer from that.
How would you evaluate Atlanta since conceding?
Well, that's most of the game, actually, because that goal was so early. I think they've been fine. I think Memphis is a good opponent. So, one, you're getting a good test. Two, you're working on building those combinations and finding that chemistry. I think Saba Lobjanidze and Bartosz Slisz have looked a little rusty. It's been a little difficult for them to find those combinations, get sharp. I think the first touch has been lacking a little bit from them. Mentioned Noah Cobb. He's been excellent. Nick Firmino, really haven't seen him find the ball very much. He's a very different kind of number 10 than a Thiago Almada, but he's not finding the space. I think from a whole picture perspective, we're seeing Atlanta play in what looks a lot like a 4-1-4-1 quite often, with Muyamba stepping up alongside Firmino, and maybe Firmino is kind of getting lost in that middle as they're playing through Muyamba quite a bit.
Borzak very slowly walking over to the technical area, which is the side of the stadium furthest from us.
Remember, he had that sprint not too long ago with Brooks Lennon, and then maybe the next sequence went down.
Looks like Stephen Glass is not at this moment preparing a sub. Noah Meza has already come out of the match injured. Borzak was his replacement.
Marlon Santos is putting on a kit.
Santos, the 28-year-old who was signed in December after playing in Israel, but a USL Championship veteran with Tulsa and Birmingham. So it's a drop ball to Atlanta here. They're going to allow Santos to come on here with no penalty.
It's preseason. You want to play 11v11, but when you get into that competitive nature of it, Atlanta wants to win. You get a chance to play 11v10 for a little bit, you'd like to take it.
Well, no such luck, I guess, as play is resumed. We're in the 34th minute, 1-0 Memphis. Josh Cohen at the edge of the Atlanta 18 sends it down the middle for Yakimakis. He's able to win the aerial this time and took a forearm in the back from Turchi, and the foul was called in front of center circle.
That should be a yellow card. Looked like Turchi swung the arm into the back of Yakimakis. Don't think he connected with the back of the head, but that looked like it should be a yellow card as we're getting another look at it in the booth now. Yeah, the arm's extended.
Play resumes with Atlanta playing back into their own end. Abram sending it up to Saba, 40 yards from goal on the left wing. Saba now will loop this across the park to the right side, and that rolls away from Schlisch and will be run down by Santos. Marlon Santos now along the near touchline, stepped by Schlisch. Flicks it ahead to Lennon, back to Schlisch, up to Yakimakis, who's football tackled by Duncan, who's playing on a yellow at the right halfway line. It'll be a free kick to Atlanta United.
Yorgos knows he's coming the whole time and just stops.
And now both teams are playing the feud here as Yorgos is going to try to go chest to chest with Duncan. The referee, Mohammed Hassan, now in the middle of this as both teams are entangled. And this does not feel very friendly, does it?
Not at all.
Preseason friendly.
Not at all, which is a good thing. Yorgos knows that Duncan's charging in from behind, also knows he's on a yellow. Yorgos hits the brakes, draws the contact. Duncan goes into him pretty hard after Marlon Santos was stuffed. Duncan getting the kind of last warning lecture from our referee, Mohammed Hassan, right now. I think that's all there is to it. There wasn't a yellow card in it. It wasn't anything more than that.
Off the free kick, Lennon playing direct to Silva in the near corner. He traps and dribbles past Ward now to the end line. Here's his cross to the back post. Held, knocked away from Firmino and out for a corner. Firmino right there on the back post, and a great play to knock it out for a corner by Luis Fernando. Beg your pardon, Oscar Jimenez.
That's where talking about Firmino trying to find that space. He did that time on the back post. Good placement, but he couldn't get the header past. Jimenez was able to win it.
Atlanta with a short corner. Here's Lennon popping it to the back post, and it's Silva volleying it across the face of goal. It rolls past everyone to Saba. Saba at the left corner of the 18. Dribble to the end line. Another cross the back post, headed over the crossbar by Marlon Santos. And out, we, I believe, have offside against Atlanta United.
Believe so. That's in the corner. It's a little bit hard for us to catch the AR there.
It's the only explanation as to why that would not be a corner. So, in the 37th minute, Atlanta United feels like the equalizer is coming with this group, but Memphis has been able to hold the clean sheet. Tyler Derrick's free kick down the middle. And Marlon Santos drawing a foul on Brooks Lennon, backing in on him at the halfway line. Savvy veteran play by the 28-year-old Brazilian. And now Memphis will get a free kick with Emerson Heineman tapping it to Ward on the near side. He'll drop it back to Turchi. He has to flare a dying ball back to Derrick, who comes 25 yards off his line to claim it. Now we'll send it down the middle, and this is going to bounce past Luis Fernando to Hernandez, who sends it up to Schlisch. Headed ahead now to Firmino in front of the halfway line. Firmino pops it ahead to Saba along the left wing. Saba tried to drop it back to Hernandez, but he's dispossessed by Luis Fernando. Then Atlanta wins the second ball with Firmino. He's cleaned out in the backwash, but they play on. Schlisch dropping it back now to Noah Cobb. Square it to the right, Brooks Lennon. Lennon trying to drive it down the middle, but it's intercepted by Heineman. Heineman then dispossessed by Shande Silva. Silva sending it to center spot, Mayamba. Left to right counter, Atlanta United. Here now is Nick Firmino dribbling down the left wing. Ahead to Saba in the far corner. Dribble. Saba at the edge of the 18. Has it knocked away by Luis Fernando. Rolls to Hernandez, who sends a deflected cross in that'll be caught at the post nearest to the cross by Derrick.
Atlanta switched Saba and Shande Silva on the wings quite a bit. Right now it's Saba on the left, Shande on the right. Trying to get Saba going, too. I think we mentioned that with Schlisch. You're trying to feed him. You're trying to get him going. Same with Saba. You want him to build some confidence. It feels like it's just been a little bit of a step off.
Well, Derrick's distribution wasn't great on that one as the ball deflects out over the far touchline for an Atlanta throw. They play all the way back to Cohen at the end line. Now here's Cobb sending it down the middle to Bartosz Schlisch. Drop back to Abram at the edge of the defensive third. He'll start forward up to Bruno Lapa and pass to the right to Cobb. Cobb going deep over the middle for Brooks Lennon. That is going to connect to the right side of the 18. Lennon dribbles to the end line, tackled off the ball cleanly by Ward for a corner. Beautiful play by Akeem O'Connell-Ward, but Atlanta draws their 5th corner.
Akeem O'Connor-Ward knew that Lennon wanted to cut in, and he slid to knock the ball away from him. Didn't get into Lennon before getting to the ball first.
Lennon out of the near quarter, goal to our right, outswinger to the near post, headed up by Schlisch and over the crossbar. Out for goal kick. I think that may have been another attempt to get it across the face of goal.
Yeah, it's a good look there to play that quick short corner and just look for the flick on from Schlisch.
Now in the 40th minute with Memphis leading 1-0. They've led since a 3rd-minute goal by Knight to Pickering. Derrick sends this down the middle. Coming over the top of Lapa and drawing a foul on Lapa is Noah Cobb at the edge of center circle.
Lapa made no attempt to play the ball. He knew Cobb was going for it, and he just stepped in front and impeded him.
Free kick taken quickly by Schlisch. It's a flick to Lennon. Drives it down the near touchline here, Shande Silva. Dribbling, tripped up from behind by Marlon Santos. Another foul on Memphis, and this one is about 25 yards from goal. Atlanta wants to play quickly on the free kick. Lennon to the left of the ball, and Shande Silva to the right of the ball. Now, Shande will peel off here. The angle is to Derrick's extreme left. 41st minute, 1-0 Memphis. So a set-piece opportunity here for Lennon to send it in from 30 yards out. 2-man wall for Memphis. Lennon over the wall to the back post, and it bounces out of the mixer and over the end line for goal kick to Memphis.
Cobb went up for it, wasn't able to connect cleanly with it to put it on frame.
So Memphis 9:01 with the right to left goal kick here in the 41st minute. Atlanta United out shooting Memphis 5-2. This team with 1 shot on target. This one right off the chest of Schlisch at center spot. He knocks it down to Silva. Now Schlisch and Silva combining in front of the right halfway line. Silva spinning away from Marlon Santos. That's why the crowd exclaimed. Now he drops it back to Noah Cobb.
Silva with the Techers.
Silva dropping it back to Cobb. Square ball to the left now to Abram, who walks it up to the edge of center circle and flicks it ahead to Schlisch. Passing into the Memphis end now to Shande Silva. 40 yards from goal on the near touch line. They'll put it in the middle to Moyamba. And Tristan will drop it back to Noah Cobb. Cobb now rolling it into center circle to Abram. Abram drifting off to the left, now stopping at top center circle and sending it down the middle to Moyamba, who squares it nicely off to Fabinho on the left side. Back to Moyamba, who plays it ahead now. It's given back to him. Moyamba making a run at the top of the 18 into the box. Moyamba with a shot, deflects over the crossbar and out for a corner. Maybe a saving deflection by Carson Von Steeg, and Atlanta United earns their 6th corner of the first half.
Great work by Firmino and Muyamba to combine. Firmino was cleaned out behind the play, but he sent Muyamba in.
Lennon out of the near corner, goal to our right. This is an outswinger to the penalty spot, headed into the ground. Marlon Santos chasing it down in the midfield, and he's out of a tackle of Mayumba, and will continue forward now down the left wing to the halfway line and send it into the middle, where an under-hit pass will not get to Jimenez. It's intercepted by Hernandez, who flicks it back to Cohen.
Noah Cobb doesn't make a play on that, but the sprint from Cobb, who was one of the targets all the way back, that made Santos give up the ball.
Here's a pitch over the top for Saba. That will die in the far corner. Saba dribbling on Von Steeg, now bouncing it back into the midfield, and it's intercepted by Duncan. Duncan will scuff this to Pickering in front of the center circle. He'll roll it back to Bruno Lapa, and now Jimenez will give it back to Pickering at the right halfway line. Knight to Pickering, bouncing it back into his team zone end to Akeem O'Connor-Ward. He'll flick it down to Turchi. We're in the 44th minute now with Memphis leading 1-0. Memphis has had 2 players leave the game due to injury. Atlanta United, no such problems there, you could say, at least. Von Steeg now playing up to Jimenez along the far touchline, trying to dribble past Saba. He's able to pass around him up to Bruno Lapa. Back to Jimenez, who flicks to Duncan, and Duncan will fire it into the Atlanta end, and everyone will break their run off.
Pickering was offside when that ball was played. He had to check back. Memphis is tired. Atlanta's pinned them in. They haven't found the goal to show for it, but they've pinned Memphis in. Memphis doesn't like to play this way. They want the ball. They want to get forward. They can't right now against Atlanta United.
Noah Cobb coming up to the right halfway line, sliding it ahead to Shande Silva. Back to Cobb now below center circle. Reconnects with Silva. Knocked away by Marlon Santos, but to Schlisch. who fires it over to Lennon now on the near touchline. Drop back to Shande Silva in the midfield. Back further now to Cobb, who flicks to Schlisch. He'll play it over to center spot to Luis Abram, who returns it to Schlisch again at the low end of center circle. He'll turn to face goal now and pitch this down the right wing for Shande Silva. And that will connect at the near corner flag. Silva, dribble, stuffed by O'Connor Ward. Second ball won though by Silva, back to Lennon. Lennon swings it to the back post, and it's headed away by Jimenez, and then fired back towards goal and over the crossbar by Ronald Hernandez from 30 yards out and out for goal kick.
Better movement in the attacking third as we've gone. You're seeing Firmino pop up as a second forward quite a bit. If Giacomakis makes a near post run, Firmino's going to the back post. That's given more targets. That's made Atlanta look more dangerous. Again, sharpness, not where you want it to be. It looks like the second preseason game, but the ideas, the game model, you're starting to see things come together.
Tyler Derrick's goal kick will die in the midfield. It'll be headed forward by Schlisch. They're going to play 4 added minutes here in the first half as Shande Silva is tripped up and fouled at center spot by Bruno Lapa.
Lapa caught Silva just a little bit there. Didn't like the call. Atlanta restarts.
Moyumba giving it to Schlisch now behind the right halfway line. He'll send it up to Lennon now on the Memphis end. Flick to Moyumba. Pops it ahead to Shande Silva, 30 yards from goal, and we have a whistle here as it's knocked out by O'Connor Ward because Lennon was down.
Lennon was fouled. Lennon was fouled by O'Connor Ward. He just shoved him down as Atlanta was trying to build up that sequence. The referee played advantage. It didn't happen.
So now the free kick for Atlanta. 1 yard off the near touch line as Lennon goes chest to chest with Marlon Santos. Santos nudges him away as Lennon takes the free kick, and the referee wants another retake.
Because Marlon Santos was trying to prevent a quick free kick. Brooks Lennon took exception to it. They had some words. The referee's trying to get Santos to back up. Now we're finally back underway.
Here's Schlisch pitching down the right wing. O'Connor Ward heads that away from Silva. Lennon digging for the second ball, but fouls Santos, who went down rather easily. The AR puts the flag up, and it's a foul in Atlanta United.
Oh, that also might have been a little bit of a receipt as well. Lennon had no hesitation going into Santos that time.
Shippy match, especially for a preseason friendly. Memphis has the 1-0 lead in first half stoppage time.
Yeah, Lennon goes in with a hip into Santos. Santos does go down easily, but yes, he knew it was coming.
Free kick for Turchi.
Santos and Lennon are still going at it.
Turchi at the edge of the left defensive third.
The ref just wants to get to halftime.
This is sent to the edge of the 18, and it's headed down to Luis Fernando, who is dispossessed from behind him. They call a foul on Mayumba just outside the 18 on that tackle.
Muyumba reached in with the right foot. Did he connect, or did he get to the ball? We're getting another look at it in the booth. Lennon went up and won the header with Santos. It fell into the middle. I think Muyumba goes through him to get to it. There's enough contact there that the call makes sense.
So the free kick for Memphis, about 21 or 22 yards away, square to the near post. It's a 5-man wall for Atlanta. Lapa is to the left of the ball, and Turchi to the right of the ball.
Both dangerous on these.
Action at the goal to our left in first half stoppage time. There's the whistle. This is going to be Turchi up to it and going for goal and missing wide of the near post and out for goal kick.
Turchi great on free kicks with that left foot. He knew exactly what he wanted to bend it around the wall low. He didn't miss by much.
Atlanta playing quickly from left to right in the dying moments of the first half. Remember, this group will be subbed down at halftime, so they want to end this on a strong note. Giacomakis chests this into the run of Mayumba, who sends it down the middle, and it almost connected with Saba. Intercepted, though, by Jimenez, who clears. Now Pickering chopped down and fouled behind the halfway line by Abram.
Lots of almosts. That's what the first half has been for Atlanta United. Lots of almosts, not quite there yet. Second group, they're going to have a little bit more urgency, I think, than maybe they thought they would have coming into this because they want to rescue this result.
Free kick is under hit for Ward and chopped out of the air by Silva, who plays it up to Schlisch. Ahead now to Firmino, who's on the right wing. He'll pull the air brake 30 yards from goal. Bumped by Hindman, the ball loose along the touchline, and Marlon Santos digs it away and out. Then Ward bounces it back to Hindman. Hindman will roll it back further to Turchi, who clears. We're in the dying moments of the half now. Bruno Lapa up to Santos along the near touchline. Punch back to Lapa right below us at the halfway line. Bruno Lapa will swing this across the park to the far side to Jimenez. Jimenez traps along the far touchline and will send it down the middle. Luis Fernando checks back. They blow for halftime right there. And Atlanta United's first group goes off the pitch, having conceded in the 3rd minute and unable to find an equalizer, despite outshooting Memphis 7-3. Stephen Glass will be very, very pleased with his group with Memphis 901, whereas, as Jason said, Atlanta United's second group will have work to do. We're in halftime in Athens, 1-0. Memphis leading Atlanta United. More in a moment on Sports Radio 92.9 The Game.
Piedmont believes in the people powering Georgia. It's why we're leading real change in healthcare. To give you a better, seamless, more unified experience. So you can simply access and manage your care all in one place. With tools that make it easy to find and book a doctor from almost anywhere, anytime. And even check in before you walk in. Let's keep powering Georgia's growth. Piedmont. Real change lives here. Piedmont believes in the people powering Georgia. It's why we're leading real change in healthcare. To give you a better, seamless, more unified experience. So you can simply access and manage your care all in one place. With tools that make it easy to find and book a doctor from almost anywhere, anytime. And even check in before you walk in. Let's keep powering Georgia's growth. Piedmont. Real change lives here.
Can I call an executive decision here?
Please.
Can we call him Kostya? That's his nickname?
Kostya's fine with me.
All right, there we go.
You never get the syllables out fast enough.
That's a
Ball
lot.
TRA at center spot for Atlanta United. He'll kick off, and Atlanta United will attack the goal to our left here in the second half. Referee Mohammed Hassan, who has had a much more active match than maybe even he anticipated. Looking at his watch, blowing the whistle in the second half is underway. First to touch, Johnny Fortune, passing to Armis, back to Fortune, who rolls it off to the near side, and now it is Edwards giving it back to Armis, who will square it over to Efren Morales, who saves it along the far touchline and knocks it back to Armis. Armis, through a tackle of Turchi, falls over the ball and draws a foul. Armis, who's playing with his shirt tucked in again today, as he did in Birmingham last week.
We have had one change, I think, to the Atlanta United group. No Dax McCarty. It's Matias Gallardo in the midfield.
Matias Gallardo plays for Atlanta United?
Matias Gallardo does. Marcelo does not.
He is the son of Marcelo Gallardo.
Yes. Atlanta United 2 player. Looks like he is in instead of Dax. So Armis is sitting deeper, paired up with Fortune, and Gallardo is the number 10.
Hopefully Dax is okay, as this is walked out of the defensive third by Derek Williams and played down the near touchline to Wolf. Now it is Fortune knocking it back in the direction of Williams, who will run this down at the edge of the Atlanta 18, and he'll turn and dribble into the central channel now and stop as he's met by trialist Abubakar Kamara, 23-year-old from Upper Darby, Pennsylvania. Morales sending it up to Luke Brennan behind the right halfway line. Back to Morales and back further now to Brant Guzan, who accepts at the right corner of the Atlanta 18. Guzan will play long and over the top, and he drives this one for Luke Brennan, and Brennan trying to win that in the far corner. He's steered away from it, though, by Alvaro Quezada, and he knocks it off Brennan for a throw to Memphis along the far touchline.
Kazan saw that Brennan had an opportunity to get in behind. Quezada wins the 1v1, but Atlanta's going to look for that with Brennan with his pace and his 1v1 ability down the right side.
Marlon Santos won the throw, flicking it back into the Atlanta end, but Atlanta had it well covered with Derek Williams. Now here's Guzan standing at the edge of the 18, rolling it back to Williams, who turns to face the Memphis goal and then scoots it back to Guzan. Kamara approaches as Guzan pops it over to the far touchline to Morales. Morales dueling with Turchi over there. Those are two very tall young men. Turchi 6 feet 4 inches tall. Morales not listed at 6'4", but appearing very much as equal in terms of height now, as Williams dribbles through traffic up to the left halfway line and scoots it ahead to Fortune. Fortune popping it ahead to TRA. Back to Fortune, making a run down the left wing. Fortune now pulled down and fouled by Kostya. However, they're going to bring this back to a foul that was earned first by TRA.
Yeah, you kind of take your pick there because TRA was slammed down. Fortune tried to play through a defender who was grabbing him and clawing at him. That foul was, or at least that was brought back because advantage didn't materialize. It's brought back for the initial foul on TRA, and Javier Armas is standing over it.
This is outside of 35 yards. Square to the near post, we'll say. It's a one-man wall for Memphis. Action at the goal to our left in the 49th minute. 1-0 Memphis leading. Armas, the only man standing over the ball for Atlanta United. And gets the whistle, and he'll play this to the back post where it's headed away by Tulu. Out in the midfield to Kamara, who's run down from behind by Tyler Wolf and dispossessed. Wolf now spinning to face goal and plays it down the middle where Morales is pushed and fouled by by Abdoulaye Sissoko.
It's good for Morales because he's fouled, he's grabbed, but he makes sure that the referee calls that. He does go down to make sure that he gets the call. That's good awareness of the situation for Morales.
Here is Williams from a top center circle trying to play it down the right wing for Brennan. Steered away from him by Quezada. Second ball won by Gajardo along the far touchline. He'll roll it ahead to McFadden, a little overhit. Sissoko now in the far corner, dueling with McFadden at the corner flag. The ball along the far touchline right in front of the AR and knocked out for a throw to Atlanta. Well earned by Eden McFadden, who throws it in quickly to TRA at the edge of the box. Shot across the face of goal and it went through the goal mouth into the near corner where Tyler Wolf will run it down. Waiting for support. Dropping it back now to Edwards, who will come forward. Give it back to Wolf. Left side of the 18. Wolf dribbles and shoots, and it's blocked. Out into the near corner to Costia. Costia will try to clear it. Stuffed by Wolf and bounces out for a throw in the near touchline.
Nice confidence on the ball from Matthew Edwards. Looked like he was going to play it to the back post, then slipped a pass through. Edwards has looked good in the early going, as has Matias Gajardo.
50th minute. This portion of the match brought to you by Piedmont, official healthcare partner of Atlanta United. The throw off of Edwards and back into the Atlanta end to Williams, who hands it off to Morales, who dribbles to the top of center circle and flicks to McFadden. Now it is Armas turning it back into the Atlanta end to Derek Williams again. Williams surveys options. Brad Guzan's going to come way off his line, 35 yards, to accept it and send it forward to Morales. Pitched over the top for McFadden, overhit. That'll roll to the end line and out for goal kick.
McFadden stepping up very, very high. We see Brooks Lennon playing that way as a right back. McFadden, an attacker in college at Notre Dame, very capable of playing at times as a second forward, as a second 10, as a second central midfielder. He's got to pick his spots and when to get into those areas.
Tyler Derrick's left to right goal kick, out over the far touchline for an Atlanta throw. Now 35 yards from goal. Rare mistake for Derrick, who's made one save today. McFadden throwing it in towards TRA, knocked up in the air though by Turchi. However, the second ball rolls to center spot now to Derek Williams. He'll bounce it down the middle of TRA. TRA pushed down and draws a foul on Samuel Carriega, 21-year-old from Argentina.
TRA has been a handful since coming into this.
And now Carriega still down as the referee walks up to check on him. And again, we have some players chatting near the spot of the incident. It will be a free kick to Atlanta United.
This was an awkward one because TRA was fouled and knocked over by Carriaga. But then as Memphis is trying to deal with it, they try to clear the ball and slam it into Carriaga. So he stays down, I think, from the contact with the ball as opposed to from the foul.
Yes, it looks like it hit him in the abdomen or near there. I think the abdomen. So it'll be Armas for a free kick 40 yards from goal on the right wing for Atlanta United. Trail 1-0 as we cross into the 53rd minute. And Armas will play backwards to Williams, who jumps into the attack now down the left wing and plays it ahead to Wolf. Wolf dribbles on Costia and then backheels it, nifty backheel to Edwards, and Edwards hits it in the near corner. However, it is tackled out for a throw by Memphis.
Heavy touch turned in the corner for Matthew Edwards, and that's the area of his game that can improve, is his quality on the ball. He's a very good defender. If he can add a little bit of attacking ability to his game, he's going to get a lot of time at the pro level.
Off the throw, Turchi dispossesses Fortune. Fortune knocks it off him, and Memphis wins the ball back. They'll get the throw. Believe this is Jake Singer, a trialist, to throw it down the near touchline for Memphis into Turchi. Tap to Costia, intercepted Williams. Rolls now to Armas in the central channel. Front of center circle, Armas will slide it back to Williams. Williams flicking to Edwards now on the left wing. Played down the wing now to Wolf. Wolf ahead to TRA, who backheeled that off of Tulu. Tulu turns and clears to Costia, to Turchi, back to Costia, making a run down the near touchline and pushed down and fouled by Edwards.
Smart by Edwards. Very smart foul there in transition. Not enough to get a card, but prevents Memphis from breaking forward.
Free kick played backwards to Tulu. 26-year-old who was signed in January from San Antonio. Look to Abdoulaye Sissoko, former Seattle Sounder, back to Tulu, playing right center back. Sissoko, the left center back, has it now as Memphis tries to escape down the left wing, and that is an overhit pass out for a throw beyond the reach of Kamara.
I think it's Lucas Turchi who drew the short straw for Memphis. He played at center back in the first half. He's playing really as a number 10 here, and I think it's due to the injuries with guys having to come into the first half who are not available now.
Noah Meza and Dylan Borzak both left injured in the first half. Here now is Armas dueling with Turchi. Turchi wins that duel and draws a foul, and Armas spinning over the ball and actually landing awkwardly on it in front of the right halfway line. It'll be a free kick to Memphis about 45 yards from goal.
A little more size on Turchi than Armas. He's able to use that to win the ball and draw the foul.
This portion of the match brought to you by Equifax, proud partner of your Atlanta United. Memphis with the 1-0 lead in the 55th minute. Only shot in the second half taken by Atlanta United.
That's good refereeing from Mohamed Hassan because it was an awkward landing, so he stayed with the player, made sure, hey, you've got to get up and play or you're going to have to miss 3 minutes. He didn't start the clock immediately because that's one where you shouldn't. The referees have to use that rule, I think, as a tool. They can't be just looking at the letter of the law on that. They've got to use it as a tool to speed up play. That was good work by a referee today.
Free kick for Cariaga. Now 45 yards from goal on the right wing. Looks like he's going to try to swing this in the direction of the back post. Wolf the one-man wall as Cariaga is going to play it straight to the penalty spot, and it is off the head of TRA to Brad Guzan. Well handled by Atlanta United, not producing a shot or really even a chance for Memphis as Guzan will put the ball down and give it to Jay Fortune. We'll pop it ahead to Efren Morales, and here comes Atlanta United now from right to left. Morales playing up to Brennan along the far touchline. Drop back into the midfield to Fortune. Fortune fakes the pitch and instead will square it off to the left now to Derek Williams. Williams looking and flicking back to Fortune inside of center circle. Now he'll play the pitch down the right wing for Brennan, and that connects. Here's Brennan sliding it ahead to TRA in the box. Off his line is Derek. It never got to him. It's cleared though by Sissoko, and then it bounces off of Brennan into the end line, and we have a whistle as Sissoko goes down. Derek's got the ball anyway, and I think they're going to call a foul on TRA.
I don't know what the foul is. We're going to get another look at it here in the booth. We'll try to decipher this one for you. Whole sequence started with Brennan, a great ball through after the long pass from Fortune. TRA doesn't get to it, and then as Memphis is dealing with things defensively, a slight collision, very slight. I think Sissoko, with his experience at the MLS level, over 70 games between the first and second teams with Seattle, feels a little bit of contact and goes down. There's not much in that, but it's enough for the referee to stop play, trying to keep everything calm as well. No card was issued. I think that's the key.
So it's a Memphis free kick that Tyler Derrick, their goalkeeper, takes from the left corner of the 6-yard box. He rolls it to the trialist Singer, passes it out of the box now to Tulu in the near corner. He'll pitch clear up to the halfway line. Kamara backing in on Williams. Is able to head that forward, and then tripping is Marlon Santos, diving, trying to draw a foul on Morales. That was really, really embarrassing by Marlon Santos.
It was completely unnecessary, too, because Morales actually got caught flat-footed. And then Santos, instead of trying to continue the play, goes down. Just completely unnecessary.
Back the other way now, Atlanta United at the edge of their defensive third. Here's Williams playing down the left wing to Edwards. Edwards now squares that off to the right to Efren Morales. Pass to Armas, up to McFadden now behind the right halfway line, and will pivot back to the edge of center circle and drop it behind the circle to Williams. Williams now up to the halfway line. Flicks it over to Edwards, plays it down the near touchline to Wolf. Back to Edwards, to Wolf again. This is all on the left wing, about 45 yards from goal. Jay Fortune enters the passing triangle now and drops it back to Williams again. 1-0 Memphis in the 58th minute. Here is Williams flicking back to Fortune behind the left halfway line. Sees Edwards making a run and will pitch to him down the left wing. And he's got it at the left edge of the 18, and he'll shoot for the near post and send it over the crossbar and out for goal kick.
Great first touch from Matthew Edwards. The decision to go to goal there was not the correct decision, but the first touch to bring it down was sublime. Great decision to make the run as well. Again, this is a player in Edwards who's played 3 years at the University of North Carolina, had some games with Atlanta United too before going to college, but he's played all across the back line. Attacking fullback has not really been a spot that he's played a lot. He's shown very well so far today.
Memphis now changing their goalkeeper. Deep in the 59th minute, Aaron Seeger, 23-year-old from Naugatuck, Connecticut, who has been with Memphis 901 for the last 3 seasons, comes on to replace Derek.
Seeger has not played in a league match for Memphis, but came through the open tryout process. He played at Southern Connecticut State and has kept his spot as the backup to Tyler Derrick for 2024.
So he'll take the goal kick and sweep it to Turchi, who then fires it back across the Memphis box to the left side to Sissoko. Now it is Tulu in the near corner being chased by Wolf, and Gajardo giving it to Turchi, who has to play a long diagonal just to clear this down the left wing, and they can't save it. It's going to go out for a throw. Ball on the far touchline, so a good moment of pressure by Atlanta United. Now McFadden setting up to throw along the far touchline. Now 40 yards from goal. He'll go down the touchline to Brennan, who is tripped up and draws a foul. About 30 yards out along the far touchline.
Brennan became very adept in MLS Next Pro last year in drawing fouls, getting guys into card trouble. He had a player sent off on 2 yellows in the first half in a Next Pro match last year for Atlanta United too. He's not the biggest guy, but he is not afraid to throw his body around and draw contact and draw fouls.
Javier Armas will take the free kick. Angle is to Seeger's extreme left. It's outside of 35 yards. Santos is the one-man wall for Memphis. Action at the goal to our left in the 61st minute. It's 1-0 Memphis 901. Here's Armas up to it, swings it to the back post, headed by Williams over the crossbar. Beautiful service by Javier Armas, but it's out for goal kick.
The highly educated right foot from Javier Armas. We're seeing that ability to spray passes around from open play and from set pieces. He picked out Williams on the back post. That's one that Williams will want another opportunity on.
Memphis from left to right off the goal kick. Tulu dispossessed by Edwards, who knocks it out for a throw on the near touchline. Second group starting to really get dialed in now for Atlanta United, but they've got to find an equalizer here as we're about to cross into the 62nd minute.
The pressure's been good, the urgency has been good, but you've got to find something for it.
2 balls on the pitch, so they'll retake the throw here. The trialist Jack Singer, 24 years old, who was at the University of Virginia last year. We'll throw this backwards to Tulu, who will just drive this right into the belly of Armas. He'll flick it down to Edwards, drops it back to Williams again, and he'll square it off to the right. Behind center circle, Morales for Atlanta United. Flick to Armas inside center circle, drop back to Williams. Williams popping it ahead to Fortune, back to Williams. Memphis stepping up now as Williams will drop it back to Guzan. Guzan rolling this into the near corner to Williams because there's wide open space there. Williams now turning to dribble forward, and he'll pop that down the left wing for TRA, who is bumped by Turchi. Play on as TRA is still down grabbing his head.
He's hit from behind. I think he's grabbing the his upper back. Turchi hits him before the ball gets there. That should be a foul.
They have now stopped play. No foul was called initially, and the referee will have a look at Jamal TRA.
That should have been a foul. Turchi is behind him. TRA is going up to try to make a play on the ball, and Turchi hits him from behind.
TRA is up.
But that's another one where TRA stays down. He's trying to draw the referee's attention. Referee comes over and says, hey, that's not the way we play this anymore. You've got to get up or you're going to be off the field for 3 minutes. This is something players will adapt to. It's good for the speed of play.
And I think the referee has managed it very well.
Referee has done an amazing job with that today.
Off the free kick, this is sent up to Kamara, who's dispossessed by Morales. Second ball chopped forward by Leston Paul. It bounces back off of Turchi, who's in a jam now. He's bumped off the ball, but draws a foul. Right in the center of the park on Gajardo.
Gajardo's been scrappy in that number 10 role, playing underneath TRA. Joined Atlanta United 2 late last season. We didn't see a lot of him with the twos. Flashes of brilliance. Excited to see what he can do with Atlanta United 2 this season, and a good start today.
Off the free kick, Sissoko playing it down the far touchline. It's returned to him now. Behind the halfway line, he'll try to go down the middle to Kamara, and he instead tips it to Williams, who fires it ahead to Gajardo. Now it's sent forward at 2v1. TRA up to Wolf, left side of the box. Wolf shot, and it's blocked and cleared off the line by Memphis. Rebound is sent over the end line for a corner. Wolf from the right corner of the 6 put it on frame. It was blocked, and then the ball died as it got to the end line. It was cleared off the line and then eventually cleared for the corner.
The work in the build-up from Armas and Gajardo was exquisite. Tulu came across and got something on Wolf's shot, not a lot of it, before it was cleared off the line.
Let's see if Atlanta can convert the corner. They played at the penalty spot, and it's headed wide by Morales and out for goal kick. Oh boy, Atlanta United with nothing to show for a lot of really good scoring opportunities today.
Two Atlanta United players in that build-up in Armas and Gajardo. So technical, so good on the ball, and they sprung TRA and Wolf.
It really developed so quickly as Turchi drives this from left to right down the middle. Good job by Morales to shield his man Kamara away from the ball and let it roll to Guzan, 30 yards off his line. He'll send it up to Williams, who plays it up the left side now to Edwards. Edwards will flick to Armas. Armas will turn and pass ahead to Gajardo. Out to Wolf on the near touchline, back to Edwards. He'll bounce it across the park. A good ball to Morales, who starts forward now and slips it ahead to McFadden. McFadden has to slide to send it down the far touchline and out for a throw. Come in the Memphis end. There's a player down behind the play. Quezada. They play on. 2 balls on the pitch as the ball was thrown towards goal.
We have chaos.
This is going to be a difficult thing to manage. I think play had not yet been. I don't think the ball was live. I think the referee wanted to check on Quezada.
Yes, I'm with you. I think the referee was making sure that Quezada was okay and going over to warn him, look, you've got to pop up.
I also thought this was a Memphis throw, but apparently not. It's an Atlanta throw on the edge of the right attacking third. McFadden will drop it into Fortune. Scuff back to McFadden, return to Fortune, who turns now. Sends it up to Brennan, dancing along the far touchline. Dropping it back in the middle now. This is Armas ahead to TRA off the back of his boots. Memphis trying to clear. Gajardo takes it away. Foul, though, on Atlanta.
Armas with the foul in the build-up there. TRA just couldn't control as he wanted to turn.
By Leston Paul. Memphis off the free kick, playing quickly up to Singer. Drop back to Tulu now at the edge of their 18. Squared to the goalkeeper, Seeger. Seeger kind of shanks a clearance down the right wing. Costia dueling with Edwards. Costia wins the ball and punches it back to Singer. Now it's Cariaga dropping it back to Tulu at the edge of the defensive third for Memphis. Now it is Turchi sending it up to Sissoko, who comes down the left wing and puts it in the middle and gives it away to Gajardo, who passes to Wolf on the left wing. Wolf coming down the middle, 1v4. Slipped ahead towards TRA, but intercepted and cleared by Turchi.
Too slow for the movement to build up that time. Memphis has also gone to 3 center backs, as Lucas Turchi told everybody, I'm not running anymore playing as a 10. I'm going back to the back line.
Morales striding into the Memphis end and driving it out, under-hitting a pass for Brennan, a throw to Memphis on the far touchline. 1-0 Memphis in the 67th minute. They scored in the 3rd minute, and there's been nothing since. Almost a reverse of the U.S. Open Cup match last April. Atlanta scored in the 1st minute, and then Memphis got a penalty at the end of regulation and won it in extra time. Will that happen? Well, we won't play extra time.
We will not play extra time.
Certainly know that, but we'll see if Atlanta United can turn the tables as Cariaga gives it to Tulu. And, behind the right halfway line. Now Cariaga dropping it back to Turchi. Turchi dribbling off to the left and handing it off to Sissoko. Now TRA goes down again, and play will be stopped.
He was caught by Turchi as TRA was trying to get there to defend. Turchi's arms went up. TRA looked like he was caught, not sure how much. Remember, Sissoko went down after a little bit of a collision with TRA earlier. We're getting another look at it in the booth. Yeah, that right arm goes up and into TRA. I think Jamal TRA is trying to make sure the referee spots it and is making a point of it.
I think he succeeded. Atlanta appears to have earned a free kick here.
Yeah, that's good work by TRA. I mean, that arm goes up. We can't see how much contact, but there was definite contact.
Off the free kick, McFadden playing up to Brennan now on the far corner flag. Brennan dribbling past 2 men along the end line. Brennan putting in a cross that's blocked out for a corner.
Luke Brennan showing the skills in the 1v2 situation, splitting 2 defenders and getting into the 18.
So now Atlanta United with their 8th corner of the match coming up here. Memphis has not had a corner. Javier Armas will put it down in the far corner as Atlanta United attacks the goal to our left, trailing 1-0 in the 69th minute. Armas up to the ball, strikes it, outswinger to the top of the 18, headed by TRA into the crowd. Now it's dug away by Edwards, who shoots. That is blocked. Gajardo, though, wins the ball back. Pass back to Edwards at the top of the 18, and then his pass is blocked by Cariaga. Second ball, though, lands to a teammate, and now it's Gajardo trying to dribble out of traffic. He's able to bounce the ball over to Wolf in the central channel. Spun back forward, but under hit and cleared by Paul. Headed forward by Fortune to Gajardo. A handball play for Atlanta, which they will get as that came off the hands of Marlon Santos.
Really good work by this group from Atlanta United. They're finding combinations, and they're finding ways into the attacking third.
Off of quick free kick, pitched by Fortune at the top of the 18. Headed away by Sissoko out into the midfield. Foul in Atlanta United as Kamara goes down, drawing it on Armas. Shots are 13-3 Atlanta. Shots on target 2-1 Atlanta. Corners 8-0 Atlanta. Possession feels like maybe a 55-45 Atlanta edge.
I might go higher than that.
But it's Memphis with the 1-0 lead. To Memphis's credit, they have really continued to play since getting the goal. I mean,
they've tried to.
Need to bunker in a preseason match, but you like the fact that they're trying to continue to play.
They've tried to play. It's been difficult for them. I think Atlanta defensively has been good in this match, especially defending in the attacking half. They've been very good in that area.
Armas with a seeing eye ball up to Brennan on the right wing. Brennan at the end line pulls the ball back. Pass down to McFadden, right side of the box. The shot is blocked. Out to an on-running Armas who sails it over the crossbar from 20 yards out now for goal kick.
Just a little bit of a double clutch there as Armas was stepping up to it. Tried to curl one rather than go for straight-up power. Good ball initially from Armas into the run of McFadden, whose shot was blocked. Javier Armas, a draft pick out of Oregon State, out of the Deportivo La Coruña Academy in Spain. He has showed really well in his preseason minutes so far.
Left to right goal kick by Seager. Everyone dropping back in the midfield. Seager cranks this all the way into the Atlanta end where it's headed away by Morales, and then Gajardo undercuts Leston Paul and fouls him at the edge of center circle.
Leston Paul, the wily veteran, 33 years old, 35 caps for Trinidad and Tobago. He's kind of moved into a role with this coaching staff at Memphis where he'll be shadowing them as his next step will be to join that coaching staff at some point.
Now Armas called for a foul, getting into a collision with Marlon Santos, who's had some trouble keeping his balance here in this game.
He has learned the 3-minute rule, though. He got up pretty quick that time.
Free kick up to Singer. Singer slips but gets back up and accepts it now on the right attacking third and drops it back to Tulu. Chased by TRA. Tulu goes all the way back to Seager, who's 19 yards off his line. 72nd minute. Here now is a pitch by Turchi down the middle that'll be headed away by Morales. A dying ball at center spot accepted by Leston Paul. Paul sends it down the right wing, too far for Singer. It'll be run down by Edwards in the near corner.
Not sure if Fortune might have knocked that away from his fellow Trinidad and Tobago national team teammate.
73rd minute, Atlanta United still trailing 1-0 as Morales sends it up the far touchline to Luke Brennan. Now it is Armas from behind center circle, squaring it to the left to Edwards. Edwards up close to the halfway line and now drops it back behind center circle to Williams. Atlanta United moving from right to left. Williams faking the pitch and rolling it off to the right. Square ball to Morales again. Plays it down the wing to Brennan. Brennan at the right halfway line, dropping it back to Morales.
Atlanta wanted the ball over the top initially. McFadden and Wolf both wanted it.
And now it's Williams going over the top, looking for Brennan. Way off his line, Seager chasing and fouling Brennan in the far corner. It'll be a free kick to Atlanta United at the far corner flag.
Seager got lost. He got out there going for it initially as the ball kept curling towards the corner flag. Seager was in no man's land and had to keep going. He makes contact with Brennan, a very awkward challenge from Seager, and a free kick here, maybe 5 yards or so inside the touchline, so it's like a short corner.
Come out of the far corner, and Armas will take it. And the United attacking the goal to our left in the 74th minute. Memphis does not set up a wall in front of Armas. Armas up to it. He'll send this to the back post, and it's headed away by Sissoko. Out to McFadden in the midfield. Scuffs it over to Armas again on the right wing. Back to Fortune at the right end line. His cross is blocked by Turchi out for another corner.
Love that run from Jay Fortune. No hesitation to get into the 18 and try to make something happen. Nearly did.
9th corner of the match for Atlanta United. Armas again out of the far corner, goal to our left. Armas, outswinger near post, back heel towards the post, cleared by Singer, then chopped up into the air by Quezada and out into the midfield to McFadden. McFadden trying to steer that over to Armas. He does, as it's knocked out by Marlon Santos for a throw.
It was Gallardo with that flick that was blocked at the near post.
And here's Gallardo through traffic trying to thread it through to the top of the 18, but that is blocked. Costia, though, giving it away to Edwards, who came up into the attack and hands it off to Wolf, and then Costia bumps with Wolf. Wolf goes down, and there's no call. Coming forward now is Cariaga for Memphis, dropping it back to Singer. Now a hard tackle. Edwards will be booked, taking down Costia on the near touchline.
Ref didn't see the arm in the back from Costia on Wolf. He was screened by it, didn't get any help from the AR, who had the view and did not put the flag up. Matthew Edwards took exception to it and went in strong on Costia. I like that from Edwards. That's a receipt.
Demonstration of the chippiness of this match. This is a preseason friendly. That was the 28th foul called in this match.
Whew. There's a few others that could have been called.
Absolutely. 28th foul of the match, and we still have 15 minutes in stoppage to play.
And I think our referee's done a very good job.
I agree. I think it's been great. This portion of the match brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. The all-electric Mercedes-Benz lineup is here. Cariaga's free kick, ambitious, trying to hook up with Santos on the left wing, and he airmails that out for goal kick over the left-end line. Brad Guzan puts the ball down and hands it off to Derek Williams. Atlanta United from right to left here in the second half as the sun starts to set over the hillside on the far side of the stadium. Morales putting it back behind center circle to Derek Williams. Williams 40 yards from the Atlanta goal. We'll kick this over to Edwards now on the left wing. Edwards will play a long diagonal looking for Brennan along the far touchline. It's over his head and out. Throw to Memphis.
Just a little overhit there from Edwards. He's trying to do a lot of the right things with the ball at his feet. He's been good defensively. Edwards will grow more confident on the ball as we go this season.
Off the throw, it's headed by Edwards off the chin of Morales, and it bounces unfortunately out for a throw. Now on the Atlanta end for Memphis on the far touchline.
That's Williams who came across with that header. Morales was not ready for that.
No, it went right off his chin, I think. Thrown down the far touchline. It goes into Kamara. Drop back into the Memphis end to Sissoko. Square now to Turchi. It is 3 in the back for Memphis, as Jason told you. Tulu sweeping it ahead now to Singer at the right halfway line, and this glances off of Edwards for a throw 50 yards from the Atlanta goal.
Good pressure there from Atlanta. Gallardo, TRA, Wolf all stepping up, making sure every angle was covered through the middle.
Thrown backwards to Tulu. Tulu pops it ahead to Cariaga, who dances past Fortune into the central channel. Fortune digging for the second ball. Tripped up Cariaga and fouled him. On the edge of center circle, that's Atlanta United's 18th foul of the match. Free kick was taken by Turchi, but the referee wants a retake.
That was about 25 yards away from where the foul happened.
Sometimes you'll see the referee, if it's behind where the foul occurred, maybe they'll give them a little bit of benefit.
A little?
25 yards is extreme.
Yeah, it's almost in a different area code.
Yeah, from Winder. All right,
Yes.
Leston Paul takes the free kick and pops it ahead to Cariaga. Drop back to Tulu, long diagonal down the left wing, popped by Santos out of play for a throw over the far touchline. Memphis looking like they're running out of gas. Atlanta United dealing with preseason sharpness issues at times, although I think the second group's been pretty good.
They have been. They've been good, but they're also facing a more tired Memphis team as well.
Here's Morales, dropping it back to Williams behind center circle. Williams faking the long diagonal, dribbling into center circle, and now squaring it to Fortune on the left wing. Costia approaches Fortune. He'll drop it back to Williams again. Williams looking towards the Memphis goal, not finding anyone making a run, though. Now he'll slide it down the middle, and Gallardo advances it to Fortune. Fortune turns and passes ahead to Wolf, making a run down the left wing. Wolf ahead to Fortune, left side of the 6. Here's his cross, shot over the crossbar. Out for goal kick. A very late run to the back post, and it was shot over the crossbar and out by Luke Brennan. That might have been Atlanta's best attempt of the game. There's another Memphis player I think this is Turchi down behind the play, showing as if he is cramping, and who could blame him? He's played the entire match.
Great work by Atlanta in that last sequence. Wolf slipped a pass into Fortune. Another run from Fortune out of the deep lying midfield into the 18 to make something happen. Perfect ball across from Jay Fortune, and Luke Brennan just can't get his body shaped to put that on frame.
Atlanta United's 16th shot of the match. They are Memphis will send Andrew Dunn into the match. He is a trialist who's come out of Nashville's academy. This was Glassy's plan, by the way. I don't think he was planning for Turchi to cramp up, but Stephen Glass did plan on bringing Andrew Dunn in the final 10 minutes, and well, he'll have the opportunity to do so here to avoid a 3-minute penalty.
Dunn, a local player from Memphis originally, started with the Lobos Rush Club before moving into Nashville's U17s. But an opportunity's been part of the training camp. Get him some minutes. It's a reward for him being part of this. Turchi, I mean, what a warrior to go 80 minutes in preseason in game one.
Played a great game, was heavily involved in the Pickering goal. Played a couple different positions, played a really great game. Now, to our knowledge, that's it for Memphis. They're out of players.
They are out of players.
Atlanta United, for what it's worth, does have Alan Carlton and Noble Okello available if they want to bring them in. We are in the 81st minute, and play has resumed to the goal kick. Memphis playing down the left wing.
Memphis is back to a line of 4 out of necessity now.
A steal by Luke Brennan in the midfield. Drop back to Williams above center circle. Atlanta United attacking the goal to our left. Morales flicking it ahead to Fortune. Back to center spot, Derek Williams. Williams, right in front of the halfway line, pulls it back from Costia and squares it to the right now to Morales. Down the right wing to Fortune. Fortune out of a tackle by Leston Paul and playing it ahead now to Luke Brennan along the far touchline. Brennan back in the middle now to Gajardo, who pivots 35 yards from goal, gives it back to Fortune, who's clattered down and fouled in front of the Atlanta technical area.
Yeah, they did not appreciate that, as it's Kostya with the foul.
And the booking. So in a preseason friendly, we have now had, I shouldn't laugh, we have now had 30 fouls and 4 bookings in this preseason friendly.
I'll laugh a little bit. That's a lot.
Well, look, Memphis has an identity, and they are playing to that identity today.
They're gritty. They're tough. I mean, this is a team that wants to play. This is a team that can play with the ball at their feet. They're not just going to put numbers behind the ball, but, yeah, they're going to fight, too. And just like we talked about for Atlanta United, they wanted to prove a point after getting knocked out of the Open Cup by this Memphis group last year. Memphis has an opportunity to beat an MLS team and beat Atlanta United again, so they're up for the game as well.
Off the free kick, Atlanta playing back into their own end. Brad Guzan sending it ahead now to Edwards. We're in the 82nd minute. Edwards up to Armas along the near touchline. Squared to Wolf. Wolf digs it back now to Edwards in the Atlanta end. Cariaga comes forward as he plays it back to Derek Williams again. Williams now going long over the top for TRA in a 1v2. Headed away by Sissoko. Past Gajardo up to Costia, who knocks it down to Cariaga. Pass to Singer, heavy touch. He's dispossessed. Can Armas save it at the touchline? Yes, but he has to just flick it into the corner. Now Wolf trying to run it down as it bounces up to Cariaga. TRA counter-pressing as Tulu clears, but 30 yards from goal, here's Edwards. Passing to Gajardo in the central channel. Flicking backwards to Fortune, to Edwards again along the left wing. He'll drop it back to the left halfway line, Derek Williams. Rolled across center circle to Efren Morales. Bounces it down the right wing. Here's Luke Brennan with a heavy touch that bounces into Marlon Santos, and Memphis has got it.
Love what we're seeing from Gajardo. He is going everywhere on the field, demanding the ball.
Fortune a steal. Bounces it into the box right side. It's going to tip to the end line and out. It's going to be goal kick. Fortune almost cleanly dispossessed Sissoko at the top of the 18, but Memphis gets out of jail.
Mentioning what I like to see out of Gajardo, I really like what I'm seeing out of Fortune as well, taking on leadership. He's trying to make things happen. Again, about to that whole idea of winning preseason games. Fortune's taking the result seriously here. He's a holding midfielder, but he is getting forward a lot right now to try to flip the field.
Left to right goal kick, Seeger. Aerial is won by Williams, up to TRA, who knocks it down to Gajardo. He'll karate chop it down the left wing to Tyler Wolf.
What a ball.
Dribble on Singer. Wolf into the left side of the 18. Wolf to the end line is cross blocked. A handball plea, no penalty. The referee right there. It'll be walked out of the box by Cariaga and cleared. Deep in the play, Williams to spin it back in. Everyone offside. It'll drift harmlessly to the goalkeeper, who will trap Seeger.
Referee was adamant. He was right there on a possible handball.
I didn't see it either, to be
don't
honest.
think it was there. We'll get another look in the booth here in a minute. I'll give you my verdict. I don't have any VAR power, so I can't change anything.
You don't see a sustained objection from Atlanta.
I didn't think it was seeing it live.
Here is an underhit goal kick off of Cariaga, bounces to TRA in front of center circle, and he is dispossessed. Cariaga out to the trialist Andrew Dunn. His clearing ball is blocked by Edwards. Back to Singer now, up to Cariaga, stuffed by Fortune. Gajardo trying to run down the second ball, but Tulu has it. Back passes to Seeger, the goalkeeper. And Seeger clears up to Costia in the central channel. Drop back to Paul, who flicks it out to the far side. And Memphis now with Costia dropping it back to Sissoko. Returning it to Costia along the far touchline, but Memphis can't get out of their own end here. Sissoko again gave it away to TRA on the far touchline. Squared to Fortune. Fortune rolling it back to Brennan. Brennan can't run it down at the far corner flag. Was it deflected? No. Goal kick.
I think Brennan couldn't see the pass from Fortune. If we go back to that sequence here in the booth, taking a look at the possible handballs, Wolf put one in. Yeah, his arm's down on the ground. It's the arm. It does hit his hand, arm, lower arm, whatever. It would have been a handball, but it's on the ground to shield, to help his body down, which is okay. So it's not a handball. That is the correct call. Good work by the referee again.
Now in the 86th minute, the left to right goal kick falls to Costia, plays it up to Santos. Pushed down and fouled by Aiden McFadden. Now 45 yards from the Atlanta goal on the far touchline. Fair play to Memphis 901. I'll tell you what, they match up well against Atlanta United. Last year in Open Cup, they really dominated the match after Wolf scored. This has been way more of Atlanta's dominance today, but Memphis has the only goal to show for it. Memphis is also, to be fair, in their first preseason friendly, Atlanta in their second. Off the free kick, this bounces down the far touchline. It is played into the run of Costia, who hands it off to a teammate now. Here's a cross up top. Kamara, shot deflects wide of the far post and out.
Corner.
It will be a corner, and Memphis in the 87th minute has their first corner of the match.
Not sure if that came off McFadden or Armas. Both threw their body in front of the shot by Kamara. Kamara, one of the rare players to play at both the University of Louisville and the University of Kentucky.
Can Atlanta get a quick block here and spring a counter? Costia will send this out of the far corner. Memphis attacking the goal to our right, leading 1-0 in the 87th minute.
Atlanta keeping 2 players up high. Memphis keeping 3 back to defend.
They go to the near post where it's headed away by Aiden McFadden. Down the far touchline, Gajardo is going to run that down, then it's tackled away by Costia. Gajardo digs the second ball away. Here's a 4v3 counter developing for Atlanta. Gajardo coming straight down the middle, a hit for Wolf at the penalty spot. A chip off his line, though, with Seeger to block it away. It was all onside. It's out for a throw on the near touchline.
Matias Gajardo with a wonderful ball to Wolf. Wolf just stretching a little bit for it, and Seeger makes the save.
Thrown into Wolf. Drop to Edwards now in the near corner. Back to Armas on the left wing. Swings this to the back post. Header is off the back of Costia, now for another corner, the 10th of the match for Atlanta United.
Costia went up and denied Aiden McFadden on the back post. What a run from Matias Gajardo on the last sequence. The ball splitting 2 defenders through to Wolf, who has to go with the outside of the right foot. Great save from Seeger. Came out, closed it down, made himself big.
Armas to send this out of the far corner. Goal to our left. 88th minute, 1-0 Memphis. The referee now will separate players at the near post. Santos is on the near post with Gajardo. Now the referee having a conversation at the penalty spot with Morales and Edwards and a couple others.
There's been a lot of conversations today.
Well, let's play here. I mean, now that's enough in my opinion. There's the whistle. Again, Armas to send this out of the far corner. 89th minute. Armas, outswinger, penalty spot, headed into the ground and wide of the far post. by Derek Williams, and out for goal kick.
Williams has shown in these first 2 preseason games his ability on set pieces. He's the one who helped set up Yorgos Giacomakis' goal on a recycled set piece. He's winning the headers. He's fallen away this time. It's really difficult to put anything on that and get it to goal with power. I think he's just trying to play it to the back post and hope someone's making a run. That didn't happen.
We're about to cross into the 90th minute. Seeger's left to right goal kick. Into the midfield, Williams steps up to win it. Then it's fired back by Sissoko and taken out of the air by Armas, up to TRA, who's in alone on goal. Shot! Score! And Atlanta United, 30 seconds left in regulation, find the equalizer from Jamal TRA.
What a first-time out-of-the-air pass from Javier Armas. Rookie year out of Oregon State. Armas has at times bossed this second half. He knows he has TRA potentially in behind. He doesn't try to bring that down and control it, just pops it into that space for TRA to get in behind and slot it home. What a decision from Javier Armas.
Now can Atlanta United find a way to win this as we are in stoppage time? Do not know how much added time they will play. Here's Edwards in a jam. Under pressure from Cariaga, dropping it back to Guzan, wide of his near post. They'll play 3 added minutes as Guzan clears it up to TRA, who chests it down into the run of Fortune. Here's a 5v3 Atlanta. Fortune ahead to Brennan on the right wing. Brennan dances to the edge of the 18. Pop towards McFadden at the right end line. McFadden's cross canceled out at the penalty spot to Leston Paul. Now Memphis countering with Costia streaking down the left wing past Armas. Ahead now to Kamara, who's tackled off the ball brilliantly by Williams. It's out for a throw on the far touchline. The Atlanta goal coming on their 19th shot of the match and their 5th on target. Shots are 19-4 Atlanta. 2 minutes to play. This will be thrown off the far touchline about 30 yards from goal into Cariaga, who gives it back now to Costia, who turns and surveys options. Played through now to Kamara and intercepted by Morales. Cleared up in the direction of TRA, who's bumped and I believe draws a foul on Leston Paul, down 15 yards behind the halfway line.
Yeah, I think Paul was trying to get to that and missed and caught TRA instead.
Or it's a throw. Either way, it is going to be a throw, no foul. Odd that that is not a foul.
Thought he caught him, but the ref was right there. It's a throw, about the same thing.
And the referee, as we have said, has been very good today. 90 seconds to play, 1-1 to score. Here's Morales scooting it down on the ground to Gajardo. Ahead he'll play now to Luke Brennan, running down the right wing into traffic. Brennan stumbles at the edge of the 18. He's dispossessed. Pitch back towards the penalty spot by Gajardo, but cleared by Singer. Down the left wing, and that will bounce out for an Atlanta throw about 50 yards from goal.
Brennan got bumped on his first step, but he was able to regain his footing and kind of roll the ball forward with the bottom of his foot, but he couldn't find the pass.
Less than a minute to play. Morales will back pass to Guzan. 17 yards in front of the goal to our right. Guzan will loop this over to Edwards now in the near corner. Edwards popping that to Fortune, who turns to face the Memphis goal. Fortune's got 80 yards to run, though. He'll send it down the middle to Gajardo. Gajardo ahead now to McFadden. 1v the keeper. Looked like he was grabbed from behind from outside the 18. They do not call it. I thought Quezada may have grabbed him.
He was grabbed, but McFadden didn't go down. He tried to run through it. That's why players go down. If you ever get angry about a player going down in that situation, that is exactly why, because Aiden McFadden did not get the call.
Seconds to play. Seeger clearing down the middle. This will roll to Morales behind center circle. Will they allow for one more Atlanta attack?
Looks like it.
Here is McFadden behind the halfway line, playing ahead to Brennan, 40 yards from goal. We're over time now as that is knocked out by Quezada for a throw, and they'll let Atlanta take it. McFadden to throw it off the far touchline into TRA, who juggles and then gives that to Gajardo, who loops this in the middle to Fortune. Fortune trying to pop that over the head of Tulu. Unsuccessful. The blow for full time right there. And Atlanta United and Memphis 901 have played to a very entertaining 1-1 draw.
That's one that had a lot of friction to it, a lot of grit to it. I think ultimately both teams are going to be very happy about it in the long run. No serious injuries. The two Memphis players who had to leave the match due to injury were muscle related, but it was physical. It was competitive. It didn't feel like a game that was number 2 in preseason for Atlanta and number 1 for Memphis. A lot of good work comes out of that from both teams.
If you want to be tested by adversity in a low-pressure circumstance where the outcome of the match doesn't necessarily count, Atlanta United has gotten 2 of those tests so far in Birmingham and now in Athens, and they do get the draw on the 90th minute goal by Jamal Tiare. The assist by Javier Armas is what made it happen after Knight to Pickering scored in the 3rd minute for Memphis, and then Atlanta was able to keep a clean sheet for the final 87 minutes. Atlanta United now 1-0-1 on the preseason, going to St. Petersburg where they'll play Montreal Impact on Wednesday. Memphis 0-1 going back home to play Christian Brothers University at a later date. More to come in a moment as Atlanta United and Memphis 901 play to a 1-1 draw on Sports Radio 92.9 The Game.
Piedmont believes in the people powering Georgia. It's why we're leading real change in healthcare, to give you a better, seamless, more unified experience, so you can simply access and manage your care all in one place. With tools that make it easy to find and book a doctor from almost anywhere, anytime, and even check in before you walk in. Let's keep powering Georgia's growth. Piedmont. Real change lives here.